Good day, good evening, good night, good morning, and good afternoon. And welcome to 2024 with Reels Tennis fans. I mean, we are. Ah, uh, I think this introduction is a little dusty. Let me knock off some of these cobwebs because I think I'm
Listen, we
getting
like
lost.
listen. Just say we're like Rafa. We thought we'd be here, but
Yes. We got that
life.
one good match in, beating up our pigeon, and then all of a sudden, wah. It didn't go how we thought it was gonna go. But 2024, we're hoping to do things better.
Are we? Don't promise.
Yes,
Don't make promises you can't keep, honey.
I am looking at Janina, though I can't see her.
Always, always, always.
Look, Janina has a hockey schedule, people. Let me not get sidetracked. But I swear to God, her child gotta be in the NHL. If he's not in the NHL, she needs to put him out.
I'm gonna
They
need some
have
of that
night.
NHL
They
money.
have 10 o'clock practice. I said, girl, the NHL don't practice at
PM. Make
9 and
sure
ten
you say
o'clock
it's PM.
p.m. They ain't be doing that. So I don't know what y'all are striving for, or what y'all are playing for. Like, I don't know. Is this for the Russian league or something? Is this what's
I
happening?
think so.
Janina is working to integrate the NHL. It's a difficult task.
You know what? Look, I'm just gonna say, girl, get him some probably practice on some of those Scandinavian countries languages like Norwegian, Swedish, maybe
Reels. I have to say that I think someone has already introduced us to what the title of this podcast will be, which is "Happy No Slam for No Late."
Thank you,
Listen,
Jonesy. Look, I'm loving that. But let's not get sidetracked. Okay, welcome to 2024. We're back with a podcast
do you
for
realize this is
Melbourne,
our,
Australia.
you guys,
We're
this is
gonna
our
talk about
10th
all the
season. 10.
Listen, we're being
yes, we're
generous
gonna
when we
try to
call
talk
ourselves
about the tennis that
seasons.
we watch, that we didn't watch, that we heard about, that was being watched, and maybe forecast for the future,
Mm.
of what the professional tennis is going to look like and issues surrounding professional tennis. And before I go any further, of course, let me introduce my co-hostesses with the mostesses. They are the same as always for 2024. We have Andreen from Solely Tennis Travel. How are you doing,
Hello,
girl?
I'm good.
And let me put a pin in that. You don't have to give an answer right now. Any exciting places you're going this year for tennis? I know you're going to one already, but I don't want
Ooh.
to, steal your thunder. But just that, be sure to drop in those little hints and make Janine and I feel like shit. Like, my God, like what life are we living?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have from foreign Ohio, we have Janina. How are you doing, Janina? I don't hear any skating going on. You are not at the ice rink, are you, right now?
Not yet, but it's coming later.
And so, folks, in case Janina drops up mid rant or mid, like salivating over her little red-headed ginger boy, uh, sinner, she has technical issues. It's
Always.
2024, not much things change. And so,
Is this a problem with
she might
Cincinnati?
disappear. What's that? What did you say, Andrea?
Is this an Ohio problem? What's
It might
going
be.
It is far in Ohio, so these things do happen there. And of course, the homosexual of the podcast reels. But we got our lovely fans are already listening in.
on?
I know some might be secretly listening, and that is absolutely fine. We love a secret watcher,
Mm-hmm.
just on the internet, not in real life, not in real life, just on the internet, and not scamming, but podcast secret listeners.
Oh
And
Lord.
we see, I see Maya, I see Jonesy, we have Yvette, and I know others will come. The link was sort of like, like typical black people, we forgot to like pre-announce it. But
Oh, that's not
you
me.
will
I don't
catch
know
us
what
on the
you're talking
replay
about.
like Rihanna. You will
You
catch us
hear?
on the replay.
You hear Angelina? She's like, that's not me. That's y'all.
I'm one of the bad ones. I'll be sending out pre notes,
Listen, we
pre
decided this
vetting.
was going to be live 10 minutes before
Oh, did
we
you?
started
Oh,
recording. This
But
was
no,
not
I thought it was always going
discussed.
to be live.
oh
And
no.
that's
That's the
okay. I
problem.
would
You
take
thought about it and you didn't speak it.
Well, I
But
thought that
go
was
on.
understood. It was a major, but I will say I thought of everything except making the announcement. I was like, let me get ahead of the ball so I don't have any tech issues. I thought of everything. Let me email the link. Let me do everything
That
except
was
the thing
fair.
that
I appreciate you emailing the link because I've been requesting email links for the last
10
4
years.
years.
10. Come on, 10.
Oh, by the way, people, this is just so you know, people, we have been doing this podcast since 2015.
Scheiße.
It is
Wow.
supposed to be a decade next
Oh
year.
no, we
Just
need
so
to do
you know.
something for the 10th year. I mean, we'll probably do the next podcast next year.
You're such an asshole.
But maybe the podcast could be going on the funeral march with Nole. Like we just
Mm-mm,
watch.
mm-mm.
You don't want to do that?
We're not
No.
doing anything with
But that might be
Nole.
dangerous. Look,
I love it though. Oh
let me
my
just
gosh.
say,
Whew,
All right,
I'm feeling so
let
good.
me just say the mathematician in the Nole fam can't even add. But we're not even going to talk about that. We're just going to put that aside. Just bear in mind, can't even add. But ladies, we have a very interesting. Hmm. I have a lot of feelings on thing, but we have Melbourne is over. The first major is over, so only two persons. Well, um, we only consider calendar slams. Only two persons are eligible for the calendar slam for 2024, and only one of those two are eligible for the golden slam. So
Oh
it's
yes,
about
that's true.
so it's about to be interesting, and it's not the people we thought it was going to be. Because I mean, put a feather in your cap. If you thought at the end of Melbourne last year that Sabalenka would be a repeat major winner, put a feather in your cap that she would
I
defend the
do.
title.
I'm putting that feather in my cap because I have been a staunch
You
Sabalenka
have been
fan
with her
from
for a long
the
time.
beginning. I said if that girl could control her serve, she would dominate and she will get through it. Look at my girl getting through a slam without losing a set. Make that
I'm
make
telling
Wow.
sense
you.
to us all. What is going
I'm
on in
telling you.
this 19? No, it is not 1900s.
Listen to me.
And in the
And
2020s.
Sabalenka was
Mm-mm.
not. Listen to me. The way she dragged Tosarenko, um, inappropriate, inappropriate, double bagel. And let me tell you something. At the beginning of that match, Sabalenka was messy. Like she served first to open the match. Shit show. I turned away and I was like, a bagel. I had to go double check. Like, surely there's a mistake. Sab gave away a game. She did not. I mean, the only real test Sabalenka faced was from Coco, and Coco was dealing with her own exams because she couldn't. So she couldn't test Sabalenka because she was testing herself. But
I feel that
that
was
was
a
the
hangover from the previous match because there's no way Coco needed to have had 3 sets to get through that crappy match.
Well,
well. Well, I mean, like Coco shouldn't have even. I mean, like the mess she was like laying off of herself because that girl. I forget who. What's that girl? Ooh, the girl she played in the quarters.
I'm about to look it up because it just escaped my mind.
I forget her name.
But I was so annoyed. Marta. I mean, Marta,
Yeah,
best
yeah.
dressed Marta is, stellar. But Marta can barely keep the ball in play.
Thank you,
That's
thank
usually
you. I
my
was just
experience
like,
of Marta. So Marta showed up, but I knew because Marta had gotten upset with the US Open Twitter and social media channel. I was like, she is going to come for the American Princess right now. I just knew it. I just knew she was going to have an extra bit of oomph. And so once I saw that Coco came out confused, I was like, oh, this is going to be real messy. Real messy. And you should have seen me on my DMs to friends. I was like, what is this match? Why is she doing it? Because literally Coco was comfortably sliding along and then just ran right into Marta. And I don't think she
no.
ever recovered.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes,
she was
yes.
going
I
through
thought I
match
thought
and
you
like,
said she was comfortably
no,
sliding
straight
along in the
sets.
match
Yeah.
with Martha
No,
because
just previously. Straight sets. I mean, Alicia Parks. I mean, that was lovely to see. I
that
mean,
was a buy. That was
I
a
mean,
buy. That
oh,
was a
stop
buy
it.
in my book.
Stop it. Uh,
I mean, no shade to Miss Parks, but that was a buy. It was a buy.
it was not a buy.
yeah, well, Alicia did not show up the way she had been playing I mean, she was. I mean, she had been playing really well with her serve, and then she showed up at Coco and could barely get the serve and play. It was
She was
just.
excited to be playing Coco. She
But
couldn't
I will
handle
say
it.
she looked beautiful. She looked beautiful.
She looked
Beautiful outfit.
Yeah,
amazing.
she
Gorgeous
always looked
outfit.
beautiful.
I liked
Beautiful outfit.
Great
Coco's
out,
kit
great
too.
gowns, great gowns, great
No,
gowns
more
all the
than
time.
that, she was gorgeous. She should obviously wear that to Wimbledon because I saw that white and I was like, do it.
You
Anyway,
know what it is?
mhm,
It's because she's so dark. It just looks so good on her.
yeah, it did. And it was really nicely cut and the hair was laid
Unlike
right.
Sloane's.
Shoosh, oof.
I mean, Sloan don't know where her waistline is, but we're not going to talk about that. We just,
Oh
I mean,
yes, we
that has
are.
been a
Oh
problem that's
yes, the
been
fuck we
there.
are. We about to talk about it. Okay, I have two
We,
things to say about
okay, we
Sloane.
are 1 second. We are taking a detour. We're taking a detour into outfits. So
Well, I was actually going to talk about her tennis as well.
okay, go for it.
So I was impressed with her tennis. Her tennis was good, but she is clearly not fit. So I expect that she will work on that and come back stronger. But her tennis actually looked good. Her outfit, because she's unfit, I don't know who did that to her. She is so beautiful.
No,
She looked
that is
like a
par for the course.
sausage.
It's par for the course. I mean, it's very clear that she didn't size up, that she thought she was going to wear 2018, size. But, I'm not saying, don't know what's going on there. It's after Christmas. Some of the kind of girl who
She's
can eat.
in her post marriage wedding bliss, and that's fine. But you got to
Girl, she
dress
got
the
married
body
2 years
that you
ago.
have. Cordell said that she's pregnant. Let's wait for it.
No, no. Don't
I
start
didn't say that. I
rumors.
said I wondered if that was the case.
Oh, well,
There was someone else I worried about who was pregnant,
I
but
was very
I forgot who that
disappointed that they
person
let her
was.
go on court looking like that. That was a hot damn
You,
Well,
mess.
you
I
you
just
can't talk to Sloan. Are you?
has she
I mean,
stopped? Has Sloan moved on from Francisco Roy from Rafa's camp? Has
I
she
have
moved
no
on from him?
idea.
she's with Murray back. She's back with
Oh
They
Murray.
were
yeah,
At least he was in
Murray.
the
Good
bar.
move.
well, good. I'm glad to see him back because she's always had her best outcomes with him. I'm not sure what that detour in Spain was about, but should be good. I mean, you know what? Much to look forward to because next major is one of her better majors, and it's also the site of the Olympics. So let's see what she can do on clay. With this kind
Mm,
of tennis, it
Yes.
might be fun to
Well,
see
she
her get
does
into
do
a
well on
second.
well, I'm
clay.
just
Yeah.
excited to see what she can do next week.
Well,
I just looking
I'm
forward
not.
to.
I'm giving her time and space.
Yeah, and and as I say this, we can let's make a special mention to Naomi Osaka
Mm.
She
because
also
you
looked
see
good.
she looked good. She ran into Carolina Garcia,
Yeah, that was
and
unlucky. That was an
I
unlucky
know
first
that was.
round
I mean,
matchup.
and Garcia being Garcia, I said she looked really solid, served immaculately, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
Osaka was
unusual for
always on the back
Garcia.
foot, and Osaka still isn't trying to come forward. So don't
Well,
know when you're
having
going.
Caroline Garcia in round one after you've been away for a long time, that's no good for anybody. Because, yeah,
Mm,
Garcia can have her moments, but at the end of the day, she's a good, solid player. She just
Garcia
can,
lost in the second round.
because she goes off on these freaking
So, like
mental.
I said, having Garcia
You know
was
what?
a
You ain't right.
A potential gift, but it didn't work out for
thank
her.
you. Exactly. You needed to look at the draw guards and be like, here is an opportunity, and I
Well,
need to capitalize on it.
Well,
Because
I
no one
think what was
expected.
fortunate, what I thought was interesting about Osaka was that she had a good sense of humor about it. She said her outfit deserved to be around longer, which she didn't speak of her tennis, but I thought that's
I
an
mean,
appropriate
okay.
that's an
See,
appropriate read of her own self, which I thought
le-
beautiful.
let me just take back. Let me just take back what because I was about to say, Naomi, that outfit didn't deserve to be in round one. It should have
I
been
don't
in the
even
qualies.
remember that outfit.
In
So
the back. In the back. You
I'm gonna
needed to
look
be
it
in
up. I
qualification.
saw the quote, and so then I was like, let me look at the outfit, but I chose not to look
Absolutely
at the
not.
outfit.
She was not there. She was
I
not there.
watched that
But her hair
match. I
looks
don't remember
very.
the
I think her
outfit.
hair is longer.
Her
If
hair
I'm not,
looked
if I'm
good.
making that up.
It's all those hormones from being pregnant. She looked good. The hair looked great.
Yeah, but I'm just simply saying, girl, if we're not working on getting to the net, we gonna have problems because
She'll be
all these
fine.
girls.
She will be
Have you
fine.
watched the ATP? None of those men even know what the net is. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. I got some
Mm-mm,
things to say about that, but we're not there
that
yet.
is not true. That is
So
not true. Take that back.
Oh, I see
Take
her
that back.
outfit. Oh, it was gold and glittery with some black.
what?
Nice. Yeah, it was a nice outfit.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
cute.
Mm,
remember it at all.
mm-mm.
That's sad.
I'm
Nope,
going to
not here for
drop
that.
it for you so you can see it. But yes, that's lovely.
Okay, if you
Yeah.
say so.
I mean, it's,
Yeah,
I mean,
but you know
the one
what? I
thing
mean,
about Osaka is I mean, I mostly focus on her tennis. I've never remembered any of her outfits. Do you know what I mean? It's
They're
just not a thing.
probably all ugly.
I mean, it's just not a thing I think
no,
about.
no, 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 no.
So, that's cool.
I mean, Nike tries. I mean, let's be honest. The quality of Nike is just bad, no matter what, right?
Yes,
They're not
yes.
really helping anyone, right? I mean, I don't know why we continue to have Sabalenka look like like she's pulling that thing up underneath her boobs, but like it's not like, again, they don't know what Sab waistline is, and but you know what? I mean, it's better. You know, Queen looked cute, but not cute ain't gonna give you a cup, okay? So she Queen looked
She
she
did
looked
look
the
good.
best in the outfit, and
She's so
Coco looked really
pretty.
well.
Coco
I
looked
mean,
great.
I mean, I
yellow
love
on black
Coco's
people is
outfit.
always gonna
I
go.
love the color, but I'm looking for different patterns now, or different like form shapes. It's the same shape.
Because it
Um
looks good on her.
it's a great shape. I'm not upset about it, but I would love to see some more variety with
Yes, yes.
some shapes that they give her. I
I'm fine
absolutely
with
love
it.
the
But
bare
it's New
midriff.
Balance. What do you expect? It's New
Listen, New
Balance.
Balance has been really good with her.
Mm,
I mean, I think you've all
mm.
enjoyed New Balance's outfits for Coco.
I don't know who
I
you all is,
have.
but it's never gonna be
Well,
me. If
it's me.
Yeah,
if
right? We've
if
all
you hear me
generally
say New
enjoy it.
Balance, if you hear me say I'm buying a pair of New Balance, I'm under duress. Let it just be clear.
Oh my god. My
That's
I
a
am
top
big
under
no.
favorite
duress.
shoes are New Balance that I have, and I have a lot of shoes.
Mm-mm.
Just
Absolutely not.
saying.
My father told me to buy a pair of New Balance. Remember, I just like, if I
So
don't
you're
wear it, I don't buy
kidnapped
it.
if I see that. But I mean, so
Yes.
I think you've already indicated. I mean, we already started with the ladies. What did you all think overall of the ladies tournament?
It was
The
I
draw.
mean,
fun.
Iga lost,
That was
so
great.
that was great.
Let me call Maya out real quick since I know she's here with us. I
Don't
didn't
do her
see it
that.
because
Don't do
oh,
her
I'm
that.
gonna
Don't
do
do
her
her that.
like that. She likes to be a part of us. Um, yeah, she really
Not
did
like that
tell me
though.
that she's like, "Oh, I gotta go watch Eagle lose." And like we were texting because we were sleeping when it was on, and I'm pretty sure I woke up to a text from her that it was something along the lines of happy Eagles out of the AO day or something. Happy
But
Eagle free
I mean,
day.
look, I
She
watched
didn't look good from the beginning. She wasn't winning regardless. We talked about
actually,
that.
that's not true.
But that's
Hold on.
that's that's on you. I
That's
mean,
not
this
true
is
because I watched her at the United Cup. Is that what it's called?
yeah. Well, she
Whatever
looked
that thing.
dominant there, but you never know with
Oh
that
my
stuff.
God. Look, but I mean, you get for the United Cup, you get like varied rankings, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
like Norway had Casper Ruud, and I think the girl was ranked 300 and something.
Yeah, yeah.
Some
I mean, you
weird,
need
yeah.
someone representative from your country. So there you go.
Yeah, but apparently Norway don't invest in women to play tennis.
Oh,
Probably because the
oh
women have so
wow.
many other opportunities. It's what
Yeah, and that is true.
you know what
I
I mean?
mean,
Like
there are a lot of winter sports that they can do and
exactly.
be really successful at. I mean,
But
I
the
think
quiet
we're
as it's kept, the real news around the Ega side of the draw is that Daniel Collins should have taken her out.
She
I mean,
sure should
that's
have.
that's
I
the
saw
thing
that
right
score
there.
line and I was like, wait, what? And I was scoreboarding. I didn't watch it, but I was paying
but
attention to the scores and I was like, she's gonna win this.
No,
but she was
Collins. She
Daniel
could have
was in a
taken
willing
that.
position
Yeah.
several times in that match.
mhm.
And I was
Yeah.
like, Daniel, well, also, first of all, I wanted Daniel to stick around because she had on my favorite outfit. Like, that is a nice pajama set. And I was
Pajama
like,
set.
I mean, I love that pajama set that she had on. And I was like, I
Oh
need this
my
to stick around
god.
longer. It didn't deserve
Had
to
I
go out
said
in the
that,
second round.
Andre, had I said that, you would have been Andre. Stop yourself. Real,
It's
stop yourself.
true. It was like I have
Why
that
are they calling
exact.
it a pajama set?
Did you see it?
No.
Go look it up.
I need some
It was
context.
really, really, really pretty. The shorts were not shorting; they were like pajama in, and so I was like, "These look like my pajama sets that I have at home."
Wow.
And they free flowed. You know, they weren't like Azarenka shorts. These were nice, and and so I was like, "Oh man!" And she's playing so well, and she's playing Iga so well. And I fell asleep because it just kept going on too long. And then I woke up in the morning and I saw, unfortunately, Daniel did not get over the hump. And she really should have. So I knew that once a youngin who had a little bit more courage, Ego was on
It's
the
gonna be
ropes.
them check girls. It's gonna be them check girls. Them
Yvette
check
said those
girls.
bloomers were not cute, Andrew.
Exactly. That's it.
But they're well.
That was
Did
that's
you
the word
see?
I'm looking
You
for.
see,
Those
they're
are the
well
words.
named though.
And
She
the
called it a
color, and
bloomer,
the
and
color, and
the
the
Oh
peach,
color.
my
the
god.
peach.
That
I love it.
that Pepto Bismol pink was not. I'm just like,
Was it
oh.
pink or peach? I can tell
But you
on my
know,
TV.
this is the thing I've always underscored me for Iga. You know, beyond that, you know, that she doesn't really, you know, doesn't do it for me generally. I saw her at the United Cup,
Mhm.
and she was relying on Hukat, you know, to give her the crown, and
Well,
she
that's not
lost
a
out
bad
to
play
Germany, and she was
in the
really in her
doubles.
feelings. And let me tell you something: the way she dragged those women, I don't think
Well,
Iga lost 3 games
well, that's
in
how
three
Ega can
matches.
be sometimes,
She,
right?
I
Maybe
mean,
that's
she
why she was
did,
tired when she got to the Australian
She
Open.
she did
absolutely
Iga dirty.
ruined the finals in Cancun for me. Aside from Cancun itself ruining the final, but Iga was
Listen to me.
just like ruthless.
Yeah, and I think that might be because she had to play. They made her play mixed doubles all the time.
Hmm.
But they had deciding points, you know, and there wasn't really much of a because you're in essence playing 2 match every day, whenever you're playing.
Yep.
And I think you had to travel because not one was in Sydney and the other was in Perth, and I think the final was in Sydney, so it was just chaotic. And I thought, "Ooh, Iga's gonna look unstoppable," but she was balling when she lost.
I mean,
And I
that's
was
my
like, "Girl,
favorite
you
She
Iga.
was
lost in the mixed double."
in dream.
Iga's always crying. Why is
You
that
just
shocking
she
to
said
you?
that was my favorite.
Yeah, it's
Listen,
true.
a
It's true.
crying Iga is my favorite Iga because
Wow.
listen,
I
if you're
think once
gonna
you get
have,
into a third set,
yeah,
she
you have
she becomes
chances.
discombobulated. It's
You got
almost like she's
chances.
programmed.
She doesn't know how
Yeah,
to be
it's
there. She's like, I didn't know how to do this.
She's like,
but the
why am I
breakdown is too
here?
quickly though. Yeah, it's not. It's
No, she's
I
it's
don't.
tenuous. Like that's when. But you know what? Sometimes champions are like that, right? Some champions are like that. Like she, I don't think resilience is the thing that you think about when you think of Iga. You think about like strong front runner. But once, if you can hold out, sometimes you can get Iga to a
And
place.
hang with her. If you can hang with her,
Sometimes
you
you
can't
can.
allow her to run away with the match.
Mm-mm. That's what she's
You,
great front runner. But
yeah.
if you can put a little fear in her, you
She
can
doesn't
start
know
to
what to
climb.
do.
You can
She
start
doesn't
climbing.
Yeah.
she doesn't know how to lose. That's clear.
You hold, you break her and consolidate that break. Oh my God. It was just like danger, Will Robinson, danger,
You
danger,
gonna get them
danger.
tears.
No, because I mean, I really could. It was really baffling to me why she cried at the United Cup because you didn't lose your singles match. Like you lost
especially
in
What?
since
mixed
she
double.
It's
especially since she
because
had captured the number one title at the end of the year, right? She had a difficult fall, and then she regrouped and captured the number one title from Sabalenka. And she has a chance to think of holding it for a while. So I don't know why she puts, but maybe it's also
because
team
they lost
competition.
overall. It was the team
Yeah,
competition. She
yeah,
was
it was,
bummed.
yeah.
She's
Yeah.
like, I did my job and you motherfuckers couldn't do yours, even though
Well,
she
I
was a
mean,
part
Well,
of that not
she
getting
was part of
done,
it. She was part of the
but
team. I mean,
listen, I loved it because let's not spend too much time there, but that was a fun tournament. It was really fun.
mm,
I saw hide
it's
nor hair of
no,
it. How was it?
It was fun.
no. I mean,
No,
it's fun because I have
I
access to it
like the
on ATP
team
TV or
stuff.
Tennis
Mhm.
TV now.
Mhm.
But I think they really have to if they want to be taken. Well, tennis is never about being taken itself seriously,
I think
but
it's just a fun shits and giggles thing, right?
right, and I think they assign
Yeah.
real points to it actually, but the quality of the matchup is not there. I mean, why is Iga playing some girl who Iga would never see at a 250?
Well,
Like
I think the point is to actually just play, to get in the
I
rhythm
like the
of
team
playing.
atmosphere
Yeah,
of it.
that's
I
all.
really
You
enjoyed
know, you
that.
all love a team atmosphere.
right.
So, anyways, any other exciting moments for the women that not Sabalenka winning, not that, any other stuff that you
I'm trying to think of anything that I do remember.
I'm trying to think of who put together a really good run for me. I
Oh,
mean,
well,
we talk about.
Quen?
Well, let's talk about the
Quen
fact
and
that
Yemstrenka.
everyone post Quinn's loss is like, did this woman face a top 50 player at all?
She did not. She
Oof.
did not face a top 50 player
Look,
until she was in the final. That's not her fault, but it is what
there's
it
there is no
is.
but. There is no but because
No, I know
look,
there's no but it's
she
it's
can't go back
odd.
down and say, Iga, come out of the repechage and let's go face
I
because
know, right?
I don't want to
It's
be.
just weird to
Wait,
get to the final of a major and have never
but that's
faced a
listen to
top
me
50 player.
because
But that's the
Yemstrenka
beauty of it
was
all,
dragging
right?
all these girls. Yemstrenka was on these girls' neck.
Yeah,
Let me tell
she
you
sure
something.
was.
The way in which she held, I think she played Vika. Vika, I thought was going to do something interesting this
Well,
tournament.
Vika had the chance to
Have you
win
seen
every
Look,
Vika
time.
serve? Come on.
listen to me.
Vika was
But
up in both
and
sets.
Yemstrenka gave her opportunities, but ain't no way Yemstrenka was going to let her with 29% first serve.
Lord. I
That
mean,
shit is going to happen in the second set.
Well, the
So
person who was supposed to get through that section of the draw was Vondrasova, because she lost
I
to
mean,
Yavchenko in the
why,
first round. She's
why,
number
why?
7 player.
Look,
does she have a boob job?
Makita,
No,
Makita
I don't
got
know.
her Wimbledon money, and she's going to do like she's going to do a Flavia. Enjoy it, not a Flavia. She's not gonna leave, but you know what's that other girl's name? Eva Maioli. Just enjoy that money. Panetta, not Panetta. Schiavone. Let
I
me
got
just
my
enjoy this
title.
money.
I'm going to retire.
Exactly. And I want Wimbledon. I am a Wimbledon champion.
But you
That
know what?
carries
Let's
more
talk
weight.
about that though. Yamstrenka. That's great for her. That's great for her. That's a nice run.
Yeah,
Solid
it was a
tennis.
nice run.
Solid tennis. She was there. She was really there.
All
She
the
was really,
Ukrainians
really
showed
there.
up this tournament.
Look,
It was
They
it
they
was
showed
had
up
fight
they
for
were
the
out.
love of country.
I mean, they were
they were
really
trying
ready
to make
there
a point. They were and you know what? I think she would have been far more. I mean, she would have won more games.
against Sabalenka, I'm sure.
Yes, yes. But I have to say that I think Yemstrenka.
Also
I think she got
for the political intrigue that would
Oh
right.
God.
But I saw somebody said, and I'm just like, I don't understand humans. Well,
what?
that is true. I mean, like,
What
it's
do we
just like, oh well, thank God, well, it's Quinn who got into the finals because ooh, we wouldn't want that political mess. And I'm just like,
I was like, it was already a political mess because did we all forget about China or are we just like making that pass? We
well,
going
We
not
don't
only
talk
I'm
about
just like,
China.
okay.
but I don't.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
We
The
don't
amount
talk
of
about
crazy shit that is going on in this fucking
Palestine.
world. Like we humans cannot just talk about some shit like we need a release and somehow this tennis match becomes more important to deal with than the fact
Well,
that what
it's
is
a
happening to their
stress
country is
reliever,
more.
you know,
I
for
mean,
the
no,
fan. For the fan, it's
go
a stress
Nick.
reliever.
I mean, they don't care because you know what? Because the commentators come, and I guess someone in the middle. I think it was the final.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the final, some demonstrators come up here, and there was Chris Fowler in his, you know, intellectual deficiency was like, and Mary Jo,
Lord.
bringing up the Darwinian award, but say, yeah, I don't know why they're just trying to get out off and make a point, like I don't know, this distracting. People are fucking dying.
Can you repeat that? Because I mean, you were doing it in shorthand. Who was talking
No,
and
so
what
I
were
think
they
at
saying?
some point in the finals, I'm almost sure
Okay,
it's the
in the
final,
final. Okay.
the women's final. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
like some demonstrator. I think the match was fully on its
Oh
way. I
yeah,
think
there was a demonstration. There were some demonstrations. I
there
saw
was
that
a
in the read.
demonstration,
Okay.
but
Okay.
nothing like the U.S. Open where someone stuck themselves. I
Yeah.
think they may have just taken off a jacket and showed t-shirt and screamed and whatever. I think when somebody was going to serve, I think Sabalenka was going to serve,
Mm-hmm.
and then the police came out, the security, and took them out of there and whatever. And there was a thing that's like, oh, these people, I know they just come and they just make a comment. This, I don't know what they're trying to achieve. Just being distracted. I'm just like, these people are dealing with real crisis that we have refusing to deal with. Now, Melbourne had so many rain delays when, in fact, years ago we were dealing with heat. This tournament might soon be an indoor event. Tennis might
Oh,
be a full indoor sport pretty soon. We got climate, we got genocides, not one genocides.
people come to sports for a release from that. That's what they're doing.
I
That's what
don't
their
think so.
legitimate. No, they
Not
are.
from the way people be carrying on. That ain't release.
That's what
It
people are
ain't
doing
about
It's
it.
fun.
entertainment. Of
It's
course, they go
entertainment
for
for
a
them. They go
release.
for a kind of release. So if you
I think
remind
it's,
them of politics when they don't want to be reminded,
but it is all politics. It is you come there
obviously
with your
it all
flag.
is. Yes.
I mean, you come there with your flag trying to prove a point, and
Trying to prove who you love as an individual.
but to me, so and it's you're never about fair play because like enjoy the moment because y'all ain't giving equal love to these players. Like you're just not.
Well,
So I mean, yeah, to me it's just like I get it. You don't want these people here demonstrating and whatever, but these people are trying to bring a point because this is the only place. This is probably the most time people get some eyes on something serious. People over here talking about, oh my God, like I just saw someone throw paint on the glass that is covering the Mona Lisa.
Which is partly why it's covering the Mona Lisa, so avoid
Right.
it being
And
damaged. The
there are the
paint is fine.
Parisian police or whatever the hotel, the Louvre security putting up screens blocking the protesters. I'm just like, are we really serious? We're concerned about a picture that is not even damaged over people.
Well, yes.
We have real issues going on, and we're not trying to solve it. We're doing this thing where we're like, let's do entertainment, let's get relief. But meanwhile, when the relief is over, we're not even addressing the real issues. But just putting out here, I'm all for people protesting at Spoden Fed. I'm also doing away with all of this shit. Like, let us.
I mean, for somebody who's all for doing away with it, you certainly watch it a lot.
Yes, because it exists. It exists
Exactly.
here.
So I'm like,
But
what is
no, but I'm not
it
saying. But
entertains
I'm not
him.
saying.
Oh,
I'm
look
not
at
saying that
that.
I need it. I don't need it to. I
be
don't need it to
prioritized
exist.
over?
Prioritize over people. You're
Yeah.
telling me we have to give up Grand Slams for a year to save the war, to save people in Ukraine? Fuck it. Take 2 years. Take 2 whole years. You got
Well,
to stop the
that's actually
Olympics.
just the right amount of time for Nole's body to continue to
Oh,
Look,
Jesus Lord. Okay, get
the
back to the
age
tennis.
the
yes,
age.
I'm all for but yes. So I just thought think, but if we're going to, as we segue, we're talking about
Well,
controversial
let's
country,
finish up
whatever.
the women.
The
Stabs. I mean,
ladies.
let me just say, I'm gonna be a hat off. I mean, I'm gonna put 5 feathers in Sab's cap because she maintained 7 matches. Focus. It
She
wasn't
didn't drop
messy
a
like the
set.
US Open, Australian last year, where it's like all over the place, dodgy up and down, whatever. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and I might have said silent mode for Rabakina because
Mm-hmm.
Rabakina is trying to come back, but I think COVID really done her dirty.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that she gets herself better. And I think she's really, really trying, but you can see she's hitting that wall. She and that girl played a match the other day. I watched that match. I think definitely the match she lost. I
Mm-hmm.
swear to God, they played a half an hour tiebreak. Half an hour. No one was interested in winning. It's almost like if Rebecca was just like, I'm only gonna play tennis when this girl is trying to go for it, right? When the girl is ahead. And then when she's ahead, because she had several match points. I think by the time, let me use a number Janina loves to use, 11 billion, 11 billion
11
teams,
T billion. 11 T
11
billion.
billion match points between them. It was messy. It was messy. Even the crowd was just like, just one of you people just win this and get out of here. So yes, but Sabs, I saw her. I think I saw most of her matches. She was clocking these girls. I mean, I think one day she and Cena was on the same court, or were playing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely wasted your money because I don't think between the two of them they lost 5 games. Waste of time. It
Listen,
was a
she was
warm up.
clinical. Sabalenka was clinical this tournament, and she talked about everybody's like, oh, what are you doing different? She really didn't do that much different. And she said, I've been working on my mind
Yep.
because she didn't have any mental breakdowns. She didn't smash any rackets. She wasn't cussing anybody out. She clearly has been doing some mental exercises and it's worked for her. So good for
Yeah,
her
and she
because it
and she
was fun
played
to
within her
watch.
potential. She played because she lost those matches. I think we spoke about this offline. Because Sabalenka was in a place last year to be in all four major finals.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, and that is no joke. I mean, like she served for both those Wimbledon, Wimbledon and the French Open matches, and she
Right.
shouldn't have been in a position where she dropped a set.
Well,
Like she
she
just really got
definitely
discombobulated. And I mean, granted that Sabalenka is winning and Sabalenka don't know how she's winning, but she just knows Big Sab just knows to bomb the serve, get in on your forehand. You know
I'll
what I
tell you
mean?
what,
But
I
l-
started watching Breakpoint season 2 and she's featured in there and she actually gives you a lot of insight about those losses and what was going through her mind. So it makes sense that that was what she needed to focus on was her mental toughness because she was pretty candid and she's like, I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about that, and then I completely lose focus and I'm thinking not in the moment. I'm going, "Oh my god, I'm so close." And, we hear coaches and players, but mostly coaches talk about how important it is to play in the moment, point by point. You gotta just play what's right in front of you. And that's clearly been a struggle for her. So it was nice to see. I mean, if Coco couldn't win, I'm happy for her to win. Coco could have won. Coco could have fucking won, but she forgot how to serve. So you can't
Is
you
it
can't
forgetting
beat
how to serve, or is she still dealing with the adjustment of
well,
working with Andy Roddick on her serve during the
they
off
tweaked her
season?
serve. They
Hmm.
definitely tweaked her serve, but she served so poor in that match. Like, I mean, she wasn't having those serving struggles. It's the one shot that you can control. She wasn't having those struggles in all of the other matches. And I really think
She did in the Costa match, the Marta
yes,
match. Yeah,
I
she
don't
did.
that's
think
when
her percentage was quite that low
Oh
though.
no, no,
It
no.
was
That was horrible. That was
that was
horrible
it was
because
that it was
she was
bad.
down 1-5 in the first set.
Yeah, exactly.
She
So when
wasted a
she
lot
but
of time and energy getting that first set back
in the
when
Marta match.
she
in
when
the
she was
Mata match.
playing
Yeah,
Sabalenka, she served for the first set. I think had she won that set, the outcome of that match, honestly, I think would have been different. Not because of Sabalenka, but because Coco would have had the confidence back. She looked defeated. She looked so defeated.
Who's looking defeated against Sabalenka in a semifinals when you were just in a US Open final and it went and you
She no,
knew that
she
she was
you
gonna
could
play you hard?
tell, but I don't think it had anything to do with Sabalenka. That's what I'm saying. When she couldn't get that fucking serve right, she just had this look like, what am I supposed to do?
I mean, but
Because
you can't be
she
serve
just
reliant like that. That's never I mean,
you
listen,
gotta
I
hold your
totally
serve.
no, I
You
get it,
gotta hold
but
your serve.
I get it, but the thing about Sabalenka, listen, one thing you know about playing Sabalenka is that there may be moments when you're gonna have some opportunities in her service game. So if your serve is off,
Not this service.
then you turn your attention to
she
being
had chances.
yeah. So you turn your chances to that. Like it sounds to me like what like you're saying that it was like an attitude that was getting so Coco down, like an
Her
analysis
own.
of her own attitude, which is sort of strange
Right.
to me because I'm like this
Well,
is
that's
this
did you
this
watch
is
it?
yeah, I saw parts of it, but I was
You
like, this
didn't
is
see
your
that on her
final.
face?
No, but I
Well, I
mean,
think she.
she was unsettled from the Marta match. Like I have no like she was moving along fine. The Marta match, she looked entirely uncomfortable. She never settled down. Never did. So I don't know whether she just started getting tense. I mean, that was her very first Australian semifinal, actually.
Right.
In so we forget these things, right? Like even though she won
Oh,
the US Open, this
and
is her very
she's
first
And
semis
she's not even 20 yet.
in Australia. And
correct.
I'm like, listen, I'm not making any, but I just think it's interesting to be sort of defeating yourself with how your serve is going, right? Like that doesn't, I mean, I know that one of the things
Oh, it
you
wasn't
always
just the
yeah.
serve. I didn't think it was lots of things,
No, it
but
was
that
a
was
lot of it
Yeah.
too, because I
definitely the
saw the
biggest. But
rallies were
it
like
seemed like Is she just her body language to me was like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Nothing is working. And you don't get to you can beat other players like that, but it ain't gonna be Sabalenka.
I mean, it could be,
Sabalenka, but
but
let me tell you something.
even in that match,
Not
even
this Sabalenka.
I
No,
know,
I
but
don't think
Sabalenka
so.
but
was on your
even as concerned as you were for as Coco was, she still got more games than anyone else. So
yep.
she was in it. Do you know what I
She's a
mean?
better
Like,
player.
yeah, but I'm just saying you're in the match still because Sabalenka is still thinking about the fact that you beat her.
For
Oh
sure,
yes.
for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, so
She still hold. You see, and this is where I just want to say. You see, this is why I miss the '90s, the aughts girls, because they would have never let Sabalenka run away with that match. They would have been in her face and been like, Capriati, Venus, Serena. They would have been like, girl, I'm struggling out here, but you know what? You're gonna struggle to beat me today. Let me pull
let
into
me
my
stand up
bag.
on that baseline and make you
Exactly.
get
Let
nervous
me
with your.
reach in. Let me reach in here. It gotta be a wheelchair issue. It gotta be that
Well,
I
you know how
can't
Serena
move.
does it, right? Like if her serve is not quite, she's like, "Well, let me make you nervous on the return, girl."
Yep.
Lindsay
Yeah.
Davenport said a thing to me, and it's stuck in my head ever since. Lindsay said, if your A game ain't working, you to be one of the top people, you gotta have a B and a C game in the bag so that you could be doing something to get your A game to get the A game up. Because look, remember Vika? Andreen said something to me I never forget. Oh, that 2012 US Open finals where Vika never had a match point. Never had a match point. And she sold for it. Serena was just like, let me stand up on this baseline. And I mean, it's true.
There's
Look,
a
I
little bit
forgot
of that
about
that
that.
Coco. There's a little bit of that Coco needed to know about Sabalenka
yes,
because
I
you
think,
drag her into that third set, it's a tussle.
but you know,
So forget
Sabalenka, I
about
think
losing the
Coco.
first. Go hard in that second, but make her doubt you in that
Could you
third.
imagine?
Because
You
here's
know,
the
Oh,
thing.
Jesus.
Because here's the thing
I
about
forgot about
Sabalenka.
that.
Sabalenka does not have a real. Sabalenka cannot. I think I don't know. Maybe I think Sabalenka has to not think about her tennis in order to play this type of tennis. But the minute because she struggled to even close it out
exactly. So she was
against
nervous already. So it's
yeah,
like this is one of those moments where you're like, because BG said it in the Marta match. I keep referring to that match because I do think that match was really important. Like I think it really weirdly messed with Coco's confidence in an odd way. But I was like, BG was like, "You're fitter. You're the fitter one out there." So the same thing for me would have been like, make her earn these service games. Like my
yeah.
service is a little bit off, but make her earn these service game. I mean, part of what I think they're working on is making sure that Coco, you guys have always said this, be more aggressive, right? Get the points over in one or two shots. But every
Hmm.
now and then, make that girl hit some more balls. If you make
But you
something
know
Yeah.
what?
like that, rally
I
a
think
little longer.
something else that was going on with Coco is that I feel that Coco, we gotta you know I don't know how to put it, but maybe not look at the social media. I think Coco came in with a chip on her shoulder, like she had to prove something.
Mm,
That she would. I think she's constantly always being
responding to
defensive.
the things that people put on
Yeah,
socials
they
about
say I
her.
won't
She's
win a 250. They
19.
say I won't win a 500. I'm overhyped. I got money. I got pasta money. Why is Federer hanging with you? I got new. Like, oh, this U.S. Open was a fluke. And so she, in order to quiet those doubts, she thought get herself an Australian Open title, a back-to-back majors. But girl, let me tell you
Well,
something. They doubt Serena, and she got 24. I mean,
They doubted her the entire time.
the
right?
beginning, from beginning to end. Venus has 7 and has been in more major finals, and they still doubt her. And here's the crazy thing: take Serena out of the conversation. Venus is by far the best of that rest of the generation. Like it's Venus, it's Serena, then Venus. She's been
Yeah.
in more finals than Henin, and Henin got 7 majors. And we got some asterisks against some of those things.
Stop
And I'm
it.
telling you. So I'm just simply saying, like, and they still got doubts. You know what I mean? So you cannot rely on, let those external forces, things. So I don't know. I think Mama needs to come back in and being like, take Brad out of the conversation for a second and be like,
You're
Coco,
not it. They never gonna leave. Brad is never gonna leave that site.
Mm,
Brad is
mm,
helping clearly. So I don't
mm.
know. I know that you don't like him, but he's clearly added something.
Oh, I
So
mean, I don't care. I mean, listen, take what you
no,
can. Be
Reels is just
extractive.
like get him out
Oh
of
well,
there.
yeah. I mean,
He's
listen.
helping. But
Listen
anyway,
to me. Every single person, every job Brad had, they fired him.
I mean, at some point it's gonna happen, but let him
of
be now. Let
course.
him be here for now. For now.
Every job
Right
he's
now
had,
she's getting
he
what
has been fired.
that's
Okay,
every
did I
coach.
did I
That's
miss?
every
Now this is
coach.
a gossip thing from
Mm-mm,
the women's
mm-mm.
side before we move on. Did I miss? Did they? Were there any comments around the rumor of Osaka and her parents?
I don't know
Well, she
about
wasn't there long
this.
enough for them to even go on with that. So
Oh, okay. And is the book coming out this year? The book about Osaka?
Stop
whose
it.
book?
Yes. We're not
Okay.
doing that.
No, I
Yeah.
just wanted to know because when the first things I heard was Osaka had some issues with her parents, and I was like, "Oh dear, is that going to cloud her
Was
comeback?"
it Osaka or Osaka's sister had some issues with her father?
Oh, I wasn't sure. I thought that's why I was like waiting to see if it was addressed in any
Where are
pressers.
our gossip whores at?
No, I didn't see. I mean, I didn't. To your point, she wasn't around long enough for it to be asked. So we'll see what comes up when she gets to
And
the
plus, she
American
gonna say
Indian
like,
Wells
"Look,
run.
I got a baby. I got a newborn at home. I ain't got time for these people and
You
their
know what I
business."
love? I love that she had time to film a commercial with that baby or that fake baby. So more power to you, lady.
I can't.
I love.
I can't.
Look,
I quit.
I'm
Listen,
sure she run
listen.
these.
The tennis mom gig is hotly contested.
Yes,
That's
it
a whole new
is.
category that we didn't know we needed,
I
and
don't
apparently we
understand
have
that
it.
when y'all brought out Yvonne Goolagong Crawley right there,
What does that
and
mean?
she got a baby and won a major, like,
Well, this is the model. This is the model.
and she had that since the 70s, if I'm
Yes,
not
but we're
mistaken.
bringing it back. We're bringing it back.
And
Babies.
I'm sure Margaret Court had babies too.
Well,
Nobody cares about
nobody
her.
cares. Let us shift around. I will say that I just saw a nice notice that Novak Djokovic tied Monica Seles for the same number of wins at the Australian Open, and she went on social and told him to go get that Australian Open. So I would like to thank Monica Seles for jinxing Novak
Oh my god.
What do you mean? You
and
mean match wins?
yeah, match wins at the
Oh
Australian.
wow! And she only
Equaled them,
won
I
like
think.
4 titles, and he got
Yeah.
10.
That was weird.
Oh
Like
shit.
match win streaks. You know how Monica Seles do. But then, then he made the connection that Monica Seles was born in the former Yugoslavia in a place, and she speaks Serbian. So
Oh,
even though
good for
she's
them.
lived in
She
the
can be
US.
his next affair.
Oh my God. I was just saying, my gosh.
Look,
I was just saying that Monica Seles and Novak Djokovic shares a record. Because now Novak is just collecting random records.
Yeah,
Most
that's what he's
time
doing.
playing a tennis with your shoes tied, stuff like
yep.
that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just length of time out there.
You know how they do it. Like most time wearing shorts out in tennis, wearing socks. You know, I mean, like he is. Number of times tennis collect these useless stats, such useless, crazy stats. Like
Lauren. Well,
most times
congratulations to
winning the
Sabalenka. Good for
game after
you.
being bouncing the ball 12 times. It's
Stop
rolling.
it. Let's talk about the men.
Well, the men's tournament was solid, I thought, until it wasn't. I know I'm going to be the
But
I don't know. I mean, I'm not mad that Sinner won the tournament, I would say. Because honestly, by all metric and definition, he has really and truly been the number one player for the past several months on the ATP. And I would put a feather in his cap and one in Janina, because Sinner is not the Sinner that I was seeing 2 years ago. I
No,
mean,
he's not.
listen to me. I trust Andy Roddick more at the net than I trusted Sinner. And
Me
that is
too.
saying something
Me
really
too.
insane.
But not the listen, what
But the
tournament
Sinner
was
who is
before
here,
this?
who got his life together for the fall of 2023, and let me tell you something. The juice from winning Davis Cup, let me tell you something. Bottle that shit up, people, and sell it on the men's tour. The Davis Cup juice be turning people's lives around. It turned Fed's life around. It turned Nole life around. It turned Andy life around. It turned Dividal life around. Davis
Now
Cup
Sinner.
loaded toilet is the shit y'all should be sipping from the front of Davis Cup. I mean,
I don't. You know what though?
Stanley.
It's. I don't even know. I mean, it's so interesting that you say it's Davis Cup. I mean, I think the thing about Sinner is that Sinner has always put his head down and just been about like learning how to
Be
manage
better.
his
Yes.
talent and be better. Like he's not about the social media thing, which I know you love. He's just like he
Who
hired a quote
you?
unquote serious coach and he was like,
But
let's
Sooner,
go.
but Sinner doesn't even have any personality, so he can't be on social
I
media. He can
think
put up.
actually Sinner
Why
does.
I
doesn't
mean,
I
he?
think he
I
does. I
mean,
think he's
look.
just like he
He's
said,
quite
I'm not
funny,
giving
actually.
he's like, I'm not giving you that. That's what he
Yes.
says. He's like, I'm giving
Yes.
you. He's
That
like,
is
I'm never
that is
gonna do
fine.
that.
That
I'm
is
never gonna
fine.
post this. I'm never gonna he's
But
like,
he's not
I'm
giving me
about the
fashion.
business of
Thank you.
winning
I
matches,
agree with that.
which is you
But
know
he's
what we
not
want.
giving me the fashion.
Oh my gosh, Sinner's giving you all fashion.
Listen to me.
Wow.
Janina has a picture up right
Janina, can
now
we talk about the
with
fact
that
that Reels
Gucci.
does not know anything about Sinner? Sinner is
Yes.
taking
Listen to
fashion
me.
risks all the time.
Listen to me. Sinner looks like a luggage. He looks like luggage.
He
It's
looks like a tall
Gucci.
model with
He's
with a
a
Gucci.
freaking
Listen to me.
Gucci model. It doesn't get any
Listen to
better
me.
than that.
Listen to me.
And
Look,
he's
I
doing
get it.
listen,
Maybe
he's
he
doing
doesn't. Maybe
he's doing nerd fire. Okay? Leave Sinner
Yes, and
alone.
I'm here for it. And I will just like to say I've been here for I've been here. I've been here. I'm not new
all
here.
right.
Listen,
Let's give
we've been
Janina her
here from
flowers.
that
Talk
Australian
about Sinner,
Open when
Janina.
he
Talk about
was
So
Sinner.
listen, this is
fighting.
what I have to say about
Mhm.
Yannick. I believe that he's had some secret net coaching and it didn't come from Kyle. I don't know
He
if he's
probably
having like secret meetups with Edberg. I don't know.
that's who
But
I thought
his
he had some Zoom calls with Edberg. That's the only
his
place.
net game has completely transformed. I'm not going to say he's 100% comfortable up there, but he's up in the 90s. I used to legit cringe every time he took 2 steps forward. And
I'm
then if
telling
he
him to
took
come to
4
the
or
net.
5, I was like, "Oh shit, what is he going to do up there? Why are you going up there? You don't know what to do up there." You know, it was so bad.
But
It was
you
like
only
it
go up there if you're finishing a point. Now,
Um,
no, don't pretend
well,
that he's venturing up there willy nilly.
no, but when he was venturing up before, even a year ago, it was catastrophic
Hmm
Girl,
every time. Every time. If you
like
could
it
get
was.
Nitter,
I
if
mean,
you could
you
get
were
Sinner to
almost
the net,
guaranteed. Yeah,
you were
she's right.
guaranteed
She's
the
right.
point. It was
You were
so
guaranteed the
bad.
point.
And I mean, I was cussing him out regularly through my TV, going, "What the fuck are you doing up there? You don't know how to play up there." I watched him during this tournament. I watched him win a match at the net. I said, "Who the fuck is this? Who is this?"
He's been really solid, and
He's
unlike Carlos,
in
look how Sinner employs the drop shot, boo. See, subtle,
so
randomly. It can't be the shot. It can't be the shot. Like it can't be
I
the shot.
think that we need to cut Carlos some slack.
I ain't
I
cutting
think
him
that
nothing.
okay, well, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I think that.
Mm.
He came on fast and strong. He also is still very, very young.
I think
He's
Yannick is
very
older than him, no?
Yannick is older than Carlos. Yeah, Carlos is like 20, 21, is he?
What I don't think I'm having any issues with Carlos because I never thought that I never anointed Carlos the way the world did, which is he's got no flaws. I mean, he had a wonderful set of tournaments and he's young. And my expectation is that he and Yannick and the rest of those young boys are going to be fighting it out. But the way that they were making it seem as if there was nothing that could go wrong with Carlos, and
Oh, well,
I've
I
actually
think
been really
that.
gratified to see that Carlos is a work in progress. Do you know what
Of
I mean?
course
Like
he is. He's
And
a
he's
and that's
still
nice.
struggling
person.
against the veterans.
Yeah, I mean, and also just in general. Like, I mean, Medvedev showed you all you needed to know about Carlos at the U.S. Open. I mean, I think when he's ready to go, he's ready to go. When he's not, he's like a Nadal in the fall. You know.
Oh shit. That was a low blow. How
But no, I do think Carlos armor has far more chinks than Nadal does. Um, I think he gets up. He when he's in the mood and in a sort of his own place, he plays really well. Like last year, he was coming back from the injury because he skipped the Australian Open. Played really well on the clay. Went into hard court solid. Then was gassed up for the French Open. And then stumbled upon the Nolanada. And then he was like, you know what? Duh, 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 duh. He has a very good mindset about it. Like he just like, look, I'm young, shit could happen, whatever, moving on. Then he goes for grass. And it's like, I never played on this shit. Let me just find my way around.
Yeah,
And
he
stumbled
sure
into
did, didn't
Wimbledon
he?
finals. And then, hey, because I think this was the first time he's been on grass, like played professional matches on
Yeah.
grass. And he won two titles and the big titles too on grass, Queens and Wimbledon. So, but he doesn't defend titles. I think only Madrid he defended. Um, I worry about his fitness level in terms of being consistent. Like, not necessarily he's injured, but I mean, maybe Federer might not be the kind of person you want to compare fitness level and consistency to. Not necessarily consistent in results, but you go out there, you look like you lost the match, you lost the match. It's not like you lost the match because of fitness issues. Federer
Hmm.
lost the match because the opponent played better. But Carlos, I worry about like, the whole complete thought process about, getting through a match management, despite having two majors and some big titles under his belt.
I mean,
I
I kind
was
of like that though, because that's
That's
the
fine,
right thing
yes.
for you to be struggling with at that age,
Age,
right? Like,
right.
I think one of the things that's really tricky is we have been comparing young up and coming players to mature tennis players.
Right.
Well,
That's been the ongoing challenge. Is I'm like, fast forward to when Rafa and Nole and all those people were in that age group.
I mean,
but
Like,
Rafa
remember
won French
crying
Open at
Federer?
19.
I
But
mean,
hold on.
that's fine, but I'm
But
just
this is
saying we've
tennis. But
been
this is
doing
tennis
that for
though.
a really long time. Like, people are like not letting these players evolve, change, grow, any of that stuff. They're like, I need you to come here and knock Nole out. And Nole is like a big old 30s plus year old physical trainer, every kind of sports guru right there with
And he
him.
and by the way, he has a new egg. He has a
I
new
heard
egg.
they had a whole what
Man,
I love the fast forward. I love how now we just frankly talk about it. Did you notice that? They're
it
just
used to be a
discussing
secret,
it
right?
used to be a secret, but now Johnny
And
Mac was
McEnroe,
talking about it. Yep.
John is in it. It's been in it. And I'm just
Which,
like,
remember when John was suspect of it and now he's fully on board and he's like,
Oh,
I
he's still suspect of it, no doubt. But somebody told him to shut his fucking mouth, I'm
no,
sure.
no,
I
but he
mean,
actually was talking about it. He's like, I tested it out. He says you can go in there for
but they
recovery.
have to do it
This
in
is for
Melbourne though. They
energy. Yeah.
can't do it in Europe.
And
They
I
anywhere
can't
don't know
else.
if
do it everywhere.
I
Yeah.
don't know if the rules has changed, but he can do it in Europe. I mean, last I checked.
Which I
What
Um,
is
love
it, like a
because
hyperbolic
but in all
chamber?
fairness, Andreen, I mean, this is tennis, and it's not uncommon. I mean, yes, it's a new era, and I think that the
oh,
Federer,
is it a new
Nadal, and
era, guys? Let me ask you that.
but no,
Are we
when
entering a new era?
no, I don't know
Yes.
about entering a new
Yes.
era. Yes, maybe, but I don't know if I'm at a definitive new era, like
Mhm.
these three big people were. But I'm simply saying is that what I think is that tennis was used to having major winners at 19 and 17. It was not common
For
for
a
these people to,
while.
yes,
Mhm.
for them to find their way into major finals. That having an up and coming teenager around the corner, and I think Nadal, Federer, and Novak sort of like stop that sort of thing from happening.
Well, they did because they were so dominant for so
Right.
long, but that's not the norm, and so kind of to Andrine's point, we almost expect it now because we saw these young three players come and do so well so early, although everybody didn't. I mean, Novak wasn't so great so early, and neither was
Neither
Federer.
was Fed, really. It's only
Um,
Yeah.
Rafa they've been
it's really
using as
just
their
Rafa.
motto.
But they were there for so long that now we have this expectation that might even be a subconscious thought
Yep.
that okay, you won this major at 19, so boom, don't you fall off the wagon. You got to
Yeah.
be right here all the time. But we do get
But their
I mean,
levels are
look at
better than the others, though.
and that's
Bec-
fine because there's a lot of things that go with that. We have different training methods and technologies, and we know more about the body. So I mean, I that's all I think just the progression of life and where we are as a body of knowledge.
Right.
But we are watching. We've watched Sinner grow tremendously within the last
And
year
at
or
a
And
so.
reason and at a
We've watched
reasonable
at a
reasonable.
pace.
reasonable pace. We have watched Zverev grow, even though
Yes.
he's a little bit older, but we have watched him slowly develop into the player that he is. And he doesn't have a major, does he?
No.
Nope.
Am I
But
forgetting?
remember,
No.
and they've had to
You know,
fight. They've had to
and they've
fight
had to fight
to be
Rafa and
allowed.
Roger and Novak and
But also
Andy and
they had to fight to be allowed to like develop slowly.
Slowly,
correct.
yes. I
You
mean,
know what I
So
mean?
Andrina and I
yeah,
were laughing about this. Remember when I used to say Sasha Zverev is the Svitolina of the ATP?
yeah, yeah,
No, no. You cannot even imagine the second week of a major and you didn't write Zverev in there. You would be
Yeah.
right.
insane.
Yeah. And
You
I
would be
think that
insane if you don't
really,
write Zverev in the second week of a major. And he's right there.
yeah.
And he's getting his shit together. And
And
he
he's
looked
getting, but here's the thing, he's still getting better. He's
Yeah.
still
It's
getting
nice.
better. So,
let's hope so.
I think
No,
he
I
is.
mean, I
I
think
think
he's going to
he
be
is.
better at the French again. You know what I mean? Like, one of the things I think is really nice is how Sasha's dialed into fighting Carlos, which I thought, which was exactly the kind of motivation he needed because everyone came along and was like, Carlos is going to sweep all these kids. But what's nice is that Carlos is like stumbling a little bit, giving the other players
I think
chances
the
to
other
catch
players
up.
think that's
And
too true. They're
you
like,
know,
wait a minute.
you know what I mean? Like, remember there
You're
was
not
a
gonna
time.
jump ahead of the line, boo.
What?
Absolutely
But
not.
people also said, "Oh, remember they were like he could do no wrong," and I think Sasha did this like funny thing where he was like, "Oh, he cannot play golf," you know what I mean? And so there's just this like it's been really nice to watch someone like a Sinner develop, and so this Australian Open for me has been gratifying in that way, that he has sort of put his head down, like had a horrible match against Djokovic 2 years ago at Wimbledon when he was up 2 sets
Yeah.
and he had a painful loss against Sasha at the US Open. And then look at him coming around and doing the thing that Sasha would love to do, which is to win a major.
Yeah.
Win a major and winning a major nicely. Sinner's ride has been lovely. He only lost 2 sets on the way to this.
Yep.
Lost a set to Nole and then 2 in the final. And can I just
Yep.
say how gratifying it is to beat Medvedev at his own game? Take the
Um.
legs out of Medvedev.
I mean,
So
I don't know. I don't know if
I.
Sinner took legs out of
Oh, he took
Medvedev.
his
Yeah, he
fucking
took
legs
legs.
right from
Medvedev
underneath him.
was
Medvedev didn't
like,
have the legs, and there's an expression in the Caribbean, in St. Vincent, I should say, that those who have sick feet, take along the lead, and Medvedev did that. You know what I mean? Like,
But we know that Medvedev is fit. We know that
no, I
he.
don't. But there's only so much. He is a regular body. Like there's just only
Okay,
so
but
much.
we
But he
know
was
that he
having,
can.
he's having, which has plagued him throughout the tournament, serving yips. His serve
He
was not
is.
reliable.
But we
He,
know that he can tough it out.
out.
And he does have
but
a
not for so
game.
long though, because
That's what he
Because
does. His
this
entire
is
game,
his
he's
yes,
game.
but
dragging you
I
for
what
five
I think
sets.
Medvedev has played. This was his fourth.
Yeah, he played a bunch of 5-setters because
Which is where I
usually,
was trying to
yeah,
go.
yeah,
Oh,
go for it.
I'm just like I didn't watch the whole match. I set alarms, so it was 3:30 a.m. that the final started for me in reels. I set an alarm for 4
Smart.
4:30,
Got to give the men an hour to get their shit together.
5:30,
thank you. I never get up, but I want to see the flag,
and
the
almost
bag,
6.
people. I ain't got time
But
for that.
every single time when I woke up to check the score, Sitter was losing. And I'm like, you're in a final, even though I knew Medvedev had to be gassed. Had to be. But also, this is what he does. He's known for it. I'm like, there's no way he's winning. This is it. I'm having this conversation with myself in the middle of the night that Sinner's in his first final. Medvedev's been here. He's done this before. I don't care how hungry Sinner is. If Medi is this close, then this is his, and I'm not fucking getting up. And then I get up, and again, Maya texts me, and she's like, and I'm like, holy shit. So I went back and I watched the third set where Sinner breaks back and takes the set. And then I watched all of the fifth set. And I'm telling you, he played Medvedev like Medvedev does other people. and he took his fucking legs away. He made that man run until he couldn't run anymore, which was smart because he knew he didn't have that much left in the tank after the previous match. He had him. I did not, in that, I don't think I ever have seen Sinner redirect the ball as well as he did in such long rallies, point after point after point, and he wore Medi down.
He
And
wore
I
him
wasn't
down,
mad
and
about it.
also with aggression, because that's how
With a lot of
Medvedev.
aggression.
That's how Medvedev beat Sasha. Was taking Sasha's legs.
Hmm
So I
I mean,
loved
he had him
to see
going
it.
corner to
Yeah,
corner to corner to
and
corner
breathing
about
heavy and all of
25
it.
times and then threw in the drop shot, which Medvedev would fucking get to because, again, that's what he does. And then you got 5 shots after that before somebody wins the point. And 9 times out of 10, it was Sinner at the latter stages of the
Let
match.
me to be quite honest with you, the match should have really been straight set to Sinner.
Of course.
And I'll tell you why.
Well,
Because
no, it's just to Medvedev because Medvedev was done.
no,
Did
it's not
Sinner
even
choke in
that.
the
I
beginning?
mean,
Was he
Sinner came
No,
nervous?
out
he wasn't
clean.
Was he?
choking. He wasn't choking. No,
Sinner
Medvedev
was
was
choking.
serving
Sinner was
well.
choking. No, no,
No,
no. He was choking.
Medvedev was serving
No,
well though,
no. Sinner was
and was
choking.
a little confused.
Yes, Sinner was choking. Medvedev was serving well, right? I think Medvedev served for the second set, right? Having not dropped a single point on serve, up 5-1. He was serving well, but Sinner was discombobulated, messy. Like he was making stupid errors, going wide, going long. I mean, like he wasn't. There was no real point construction.
But Medvedev was right on top of the baseline. He was in the like once Sinner started to be able to dictate points more, which was in the third set. That's when the match turned. I
The
do
match
Medvedev
turned in the
was
second set.
practically
No,
in
no,
I
the
it
think the
turned
match
in
seventh.
turned in the
like maybe
second set.
late second, but definitely the third set because Medvedev started to give more room to Sinner.
Hmm
He
Med,
literally started to give him more room to like hit out
By
on the
the end
ball.
of the match, Medvedev was way behind Melbourne
Yep.
and practically in the stands. And I was
but
like, how
also
are you
in
going
the
to win a
second
point?
set, when he served for it initially, he got broken. I think Sinner looked over and I think Cahill was just like, yes, like
Adjust your strategy now.
adjust
Adjust.
their strategy. He can't do this.
Not
He
forever.
can't do this. He can't run away with this match.
And
And
Medvedev
for the
started to
third,
look
fourth, and fifth set,
sluggish.
Sinner
He
served
had to be
first.
tired. He had to be.
Sinner served first. So Medvedev was always behind the 8 ball every single service game.
But he didn't you know what?
He,
He didn't look and feel like it. Honestly, I mean, I think midway through
he had no
listen,
more break points. I think he only had one break point for the rest of the third, fourth, and fifth set.
I mean, he had some deep moments in some of the games now. Yeah, he had some break
Yeah,
points. He had some break points, but Sinner really protected his second serve. But part
Yeah.
of that is because Medvedev really gave him a lot of room. Medvedev started to go back
He was
further
tired.
behind the baseline. I don't know. Maybe he had just run out of gas. Maybe he was thinking about being up 2 sets and losing to Rafa. Whatever the heck everybody started to
again.
psychoanalyze. But he just gave Sinner more room. I mean, you know how we feel about people being up 2 sets and losing in the fifth set. I mean,
Yeah, we just laugh at that shit.
but I mean, it is interesting to watch, right?
It's a kink. It's a
It's
kink.
something
Sasha
is
did the same thing.
exactly.
They said a match fixing or this is a kink. And
You know,
that's what
it's
really left me disappointed with this match because I can't trust that y'all are playing quality tennis. This is
I wish
garbage.
y'all could have read the messages from Reels this morning. He was very
It was
upset.
garbage.
He
It
was
was
very
utter
upset.
garbage because I just knew
No, but you
as
know what
soon as
though?
I saw him
But
fail to
listen,
serve out the
though.
first time, I was like,
But no,
Medvedev is gonna throw
you're
away this match.
you're being
He's
too
gonna-
harsh though. You're being too harsh because what you're not recognizing is the dance that happens, right? Which is that in that third set, Medvedev sort of maybe took his foot off the gas a little bit. Let
Yeah.
Sinner get really comfortable. Sinner started to play like he had been playing other players. He was redirecting the ball, as Janina said. His serve was getting a little bit better. He just got more comfortable.
I
This
checked the
was his
stats.
first, and then I looked at it and I'm like, okay, you're in this. And Medvedev started to not. I mean, even that third set, Medvedev was like there were like 20, 30 rally balls going. I was like, what are y'all doing out here? Why are you
Yeah.
doing it this way?
Medvedev only had one break point
One break
from
point,
the
and
third set and the fifth set,
yeah, because Sinner was more
and
assured.
that was in the and that was
But
on the
let's
fourth set.
exactly. But let's remember, this is how Sinner played Nole. Okay,
Yep.
the best returner.
Oh my God,
So,
that was so pretty.
Yeah,
so
that was sexy. That was
Man,
sexy. Let me and when I say sexy,
motherfucker,
because
take a
Nole was,
seat.
and let me tell you, Nole was really playing. Nole was playing solid tennis, but you know
well,
what?
you wouldn't
Nole
convince
was
his
playing.
fans because they're assuming Nole was trash, but he
Nole was
wasn't.
Nola
playing
has
old.
COVID.
No, Nole was playing old man tennis.
Yes, he was.
It was old man tennis.
Don't
It
tell
is
him
that
that though.
moment. It is that moment with that we saw. I mean, like we're old enough
You know, the
to have
person who
seen
can explain what happened
Sampras.
to Nole is all of the boys. Sampras, Federer, all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
exactly.
forehand's not forehanding. You know what I mean?
Exactly. The forehand has now become a two hand.
I mean, maybe
That
this is
ball,
what
because here's the thing,
37,
Federer,
36 looks like when you're playing a 20
Well,
something.
you know I love it
but
when nature takes its course in tennis.
but with Federer, Nadal, and
I don't
Djokovic
always love
were
it.
able to
I know.
play 3 points ahead, 3 shots ahead.
Yep.
They are 3 shots ahead of the opponent.
Yep.
Here's the thing that happens to these people. While you're out here playing chess, these bitches are playing checkers and just like, fuck this shit. Boom. A winner comes out of
Man.
nowhere. Like, that was in their head. There was this, you could see in Nole's face. This is not how this point was supposed to go.
Well,
What the
because his
fuck?
shots were not doing what his shot normally does, and he
Exactly.
couldn't figure out why it was happening.
Well, here's the thing. For me, I did not doubt that Sinner could take out Novak.
No, I didn't either.
What I
Because
wasn't
Novak had been struggling the whole tournament. He was losing
He
sets
had
randomly.
no break points, zero
But-
break points.
listen, I didn't think it was going to be that easy. And
Yeah,
it looked
Nole
easy.
didn't think it was going to be that easy either. He was like, "What's
I
going
was
on?
like, oh
What's going
my
on
God.
out here?"
You know, I loved every fucking moment of that.
I rewatched it again and again. I was loving it. Well, because I mean, the reason why I said I like when nature takes its course is there's a point in time in tennis where people keep doing unbelievable things with their bodies, and Nole is going to be the best. Nole is the best example of that. The bending, all of it.
Sure.
And so when your body starts doing the thing that aging does, you are mostly confused about why you can't let your body do what it needs
Vina
to do.
says it. Vina
Yeah.
said it to me when she
I'm
got Shogun. She just
saying,
like,
yeah.
you're telling your body you're an athlete. You
But it's
command
not
your body.
behaving
You're
right.
in full control of your body. I don't
And
think
so-
I think he's learning the
So,
hard way.
listen, not that he's learning, he will. Because I'm sure he'll have another, because we watched older players. He's gonna have one of those moments where his
He's
matches are
gonna-
amazing
yeah.
again. And then he's gonna be like, yes,
Absolutely.
I'm back. And then the body's gonna do what the body does. And it's gonna be
Like
like,
that
no,
kid-
you're
Andy
not.
Murray. Andy Murray.
No,
Well,
Andy Murray struggled the whole time.
He's done.
No, but I'm just
apparently,
simply saying when Andy Murray feels like, like I won a fifth set match against these young children. I got it. The juice is still here. And the British media is
Apparently,
going off and then
he
boom.
beat Sinner.
6-1, 2-3.
Apparently,
you know
he was
Sinner beat
kicking
him
Sinner
academically, right?
In practice sets.
One.
in practice sets.
But
Yes.
listen, the thing about see, the funny thing, and this is how it's all going to seem so disrespectful to Andy, but Andy always looked like he was working too hard. What I'm talking about, the players that made it look easy. And I think when their body starts doing what it does normally, which is to suddenly you're not going to be able to be as quick. Your reflexes are not going to be there. I think who used to talk about this? Chrissy used to talk about this too. It's like you wake up and you're like, oh shoot, I can't do that thing, which we all experience normally in our lives. But I suspect for athletes, it's going to be really tremendous. But what why I'm looking for it is to enjoy the Nole aging. I am ready for a front seat. If it's going to take the next 2 years,
I think we're witnessing it. I do.
But that's going to be so chaotic, though.
Of course
it's going
it
to
is.
be chaotic.
Of course
And I think it might very well. And I dare say, maybe I'm too, I think it's going to be dangerous.
What do you mean dangerous?
Because particularly somebody like Nole, who believes Nole will not accept
that his body is aging.
His body is aging. This man thinks he can bend water with his mind.
I mean, he's gonna go hard.
And this is not a joke, right? And he surrounds himself, and this is not a new age kind of thing, right?
He has a new guru.
He's embraced these kind of theories for a very long time, and I suspect now what he will try to embrace is even more far-fetched and even more dangerous ideas.
Well, that's fine. I mean, the body remains undefeated, and this is why I
That is
always
true.
put
That
my
is true,
bet
but he
on the
doesn't. I
body.
mean,
Listen,
no,
we're all
no, Lace the kind of person who doesn't care about.
no lay. I'm 50, so the one thing we know about humans is we get old and the body breaks down. No bat. You know, one of the things every rich person thinks they're gonna try to flip that script. Guess what?
That's
Never works.
right.
It never does. And so what you
Never.
got to, it never has. And so that's one of the wonderful thing
But
that
people, but it
equalizes
don't stop
us.
you from trying, though.
But that's what
I mean, they,
equalizes the poor and the rich, is that at the end of the day, we all gonna get old and we all gonna die. That's just it. And so
Amen.
that's the
but
thing
people
I
don't. But
love.
since that's a guarantee, but since death is a guarantee, and we don't know what is beyond death, people are going to be fighting
But you know who fight
even
hardest?
harder and
The
crazier
people who fight the
in the
hardest are
day.
the
No,
rich. The rich fight the hardest
the
because they
no.
think money can do it. But the one
That's
thing
why I
we
think it's
all
going to
us
be dangerous.
poors know is that it ain't, you can't stop it.
This is why I think it's going to be dangerous.
I mean,
And
probably.
it might explode and hit other people, but I
Well,
think it's going to
it
be
ain't gonna hit
particularly
me.
dangerous to him. I'm just gonna,
Well,
a random
I don't
example.
care if it's dangerous
Chopin,
to him.
I think if I'm not mistaken, Liz,
Hmm.
one of those famous pianist composer, they try to fuck over their own ligaments in their hand to try to play crazy arpeggios.
I mean, sure.
Because as if,
Nobody will
being
do that.
But that's
And
what
it'll be a
everybody does.
choice.
They all
It'll
try.
be a choice that he makes.
But you
I
know
will
what's so
support
funny?
it fully.
We don't even have to look very far. Look at Rafa and look at the way the tennis tour was responding to Rafa returning. They expected Rafa to entirely flip the tour. Make that
Yeah.
make sense. The man basically had some surgery, came back, and people were expecting him to run through that draw like nobody's business. Like
hmm
we
and
have
he had his
weird,
pigeon, and they were judging that from a pigeon. He was beating
but
his
you know what I
pigeon.
mean. And they've been doing it with Andy Roddick. I mean Andy Murray. Andy Murray had a new hip.
Two.
Andy's job is just basically to grind down your fave, but people are literally expecting this man to run through a
And back issues, and he
you
had
know,
back surgery
so
too.
we have really weird standards in tennis about what people are going to let their bodies do. And so it's not just Nole. I actually think it's the entire tennis culture that's going to have to like get a little, which is the thing we've been saying about the young players. They have been wanting those players' bodies to do things that it wasn't capable of doing. I remember Sasha coaches having to remind people that. I remember other coaches having to remind folks to let these boys' bodies are still developing, and they were like, I need them to compete with Nole. I
Yeah,
need them. You know what I mean? It was like, and look what's happening now. Nole
Mhm.
is on a probably not on a full decline because it's going to take a while,
Sure.
but
look
that's
at
what
Rublev.
I mean.
A silent prayer for Rublev. He wants his body to do so much more than it's capable of doing.
Well, you
He
know what?
needs to. He
If
needs to go
Rublev
to.
wants to learn, then he should look at his best friend Medvedev and figure out how to strategically grind people down like Medvedev does.
Well, he might want to go hang out with Sabalenka and figure out who her head coach is because he needs a little of that too.
I don't think you know what the funny
But
thing with
Rublev
Rublev
doesn't
is.
have the tennis, though. He doesn't have
Yeah,
the tennis.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
the tennis.
The tennis.
He
So
doesn't have the
also,
backhand. Yeah, he
can
doesn't
we
have the
talk
tennis.
about the ones who were supposed to show up but didn't? So what happened to Grigor? What happened to the Danish dude that was supposed to be right up there with Carlos and Sinner? Like, what's going on over there?
So, according to Reels, Grigor got done real dirty and he didn't deserve all that when he lost.
Grigor was having a nice
Oh my
moment, and
God.
I expected him
Look,
to at least get to
let me
second
go.
week.
Let me go look up this man's name because I swear to you, I
I
told
said,
I told y'all.
I sent a message. I said, who did Grigor lose to? And Reels was like, he's still trying to figure that out.
Look, this dude from Portugal. I don't listen to me. This was personal. There is just no way you are treating the 13 seed. What his name? Nuno Borges. I don't even y'all know I watch. I know the challenges, man. I don't know this dude.
Well,
But
he
he knew
knew.
Griggle.
He
He
knew
knew Griggle.
Grigor.
This is personal. I swear. You cannot explain. You cannot. Nothing else makes sense to me. The way in which this
Oh
boy
Lord,
was
of
listen
course.
to me. He knew Grigor. That I know Grigor better. I mean, look. This is one of them new age shit, the kind of shit that happens only in the 21st century. Some Twitter beef, some Instagram drama, some shit, you know what I mean? Like some grinder shit, whatever. But it was look, this was personal. Grego was up. Listen to me. Grego took the first set, a break, in the tiebreaker. And that boy said, we're gonna have no more of that. No more of that. This done and over with. Then in the fourth set, Grego stepped up to the line to serve for the fourth set comfortably. Grego had in his mind, I saw it, and Grego knew, I knew, we got this. We got this. We gonna be in the fifth set. Grego saw himself in the fifth set. I saw Grego in the fifth set. Nuno said, no, boo, you going home today, right now. Grego struggled in that breaker. It was just messy. I don't understand it. Like everything, it was like this man Grego was spam, and that boy was the fool. That was just like, bam, you get out of here. Nope, you're not getting in the inbox. It was. Ooh. And I thought, and like you, Andreen, I thought Grego was having a moment. I didn't think he was going to win the tournament.
Yeah, but I thought
think
he'd get to a second week.
for sure. And I thought he was going to give somebody some kind of horrors and be like, look, I have been here before, and make you doubt yourself. Out of here.
Did
Out
that
of here.
kid lose his next round?
No, he dragged Medvedev. He played Medvedev. And he was giving Medvedev some
A
drama.
little bit of hiccups, yeah.
I think Medvedev played 5 sets with this dude. 4 sets, yes. He played Medvedev.
But he lost.
He lost,
Yeah.
yes.
I
he
mean,
lost.
obviously.
But that's decent. That's a decent turnaround.
But that was
You'll
decent,
get it.
right? Because he was in the breaker. He took it to the breaker. He won the third at 7-5 and got
So
breadstick
he
in the
wasn't
third.
just showing out, Grigor.
No,
he
he
was
wasn't. He wasn't. But like I said, the way in which he took control of the match, Grigor did not have the only Grigor had one break point, and that was in the fourth set. For the rest of the match, having taken the first set, Grigor was never allowed to feel comfortable. And this guy is 26. That's how I know this. He played for Mississippi State. Grigor, this is personal shit. Like, who is this dude? He's been on tour since what? 63 in the world? Come on now. And he played tennis for Mississippi State. So, just telling you. I mean, the Danish kid and Casper, again, they're gestures. I think we just want, it's a boy, it's blonde, and tennis gonna yup it up no matter what.
Didn't.
It's true.
What
And
do you
they're
say?
Scandinavian.
We're not.
And they're from the Scandinavian countries. So, they're blonde, and everyone tries to sell them. I've always felt that Runa is not. What's the matter? There's something crazy?
Yes.
You said something crazy. You did your own crazy analysis, which I can't take right now.
But it's true. It is true. Listen to
He
me.
says it might
It
be
is true.
crazy, but it's true.
It is true.
You're a mess.
Oh
I
Because
mean,
look, Holger is interesting, solid player, but do you think Holger it's like a Nick Curious, right? Like,
oh my
No.
God!
you could
Speaking
play-
of Nick Curious, what did you all think of him? What did you all think of? What did you think of Nick as
I
a
didn't hear him
commentator?
as I didn't hear it one
Listen
time.
to
How
me.
was he?
I mean, ESPN, look, in the first week, ESPN give you solid people, right? People who are interested in the game, who
Mhm.
knows the players, does a little bit of research, you know what I mean? Like, they know their thing. Why the fuck is John McEnroe in what? We've seen Sasha, what, 26, 27? Sasha's a
Zverev.
daddy.
Zverev.
Zverev. Why the fuck are we still doing this?
I mean, because because it's a very American thing. We know that. We
But-
know
but-
Americans
but here's
really
the
struggle
thing.
to put our lips in the right
Your
way.
the two dudes in the box with you is saying Zverev. So how are you getting this wrong?
You know what?
Zverev.
You know what? It's
Zverev
actually. Let me tell you
version.
something. It's not a getting it wrong. It's a shtick. You do know that, right? It's a thing.
Girl, listen to me. I don't know why anyone buys into this John McEnroe shtick.
I
And
mean,
it's this
you,
kind of-
it's
but
like
hold on.
asking why the United States is the United States. Come on.
But is this? But you see, is this kind of placating and this tolerance for that kind of bullshit
No.
is why
You know
we
who-
had
It's
Chris
not
Fowler
Trump
tolerant.
as a
bothers me
president.
much more than John McEnroe. Chris Fowler, we could rename
look
as
mess.
Captain Motherfucking Obvious. He doesn't add any value to anything. all he tells us is what we're seeing. Like, shut the fuck up. I can see what I'm seeing. Like, I don't need you to tell me.
Well, that's
Oh,
like
he just
asking
hit
about
that
Chris
one, Mom.
McHenry. I mean, come on. What are we gonna do about this?
Oh,
Yes,
God.
These are
and
there
mind
for
you, girl,
color.
Chris, I am not a fashion police, and I'm not gonna be the Protestant police, but girl,
He says
there,
after dragging poor Naomi Osaka and
but
Coco
I
Gauff.
mean, no, not in that manner, like the morality police in that
Oh
sense,
yeah.
Naomi
No.
Osaka was whatever. But Chris, what is the fucking point of sitting on a high stool? The camera is above you, is right below, showing your knee and your shins, and you're wearing a t-shirt as a dress. And you got to be squeezing in and crossing your leg, girl. What is the point of that? Either talk to these
I
people and be like,
have.
you,
No,
it's
I don't think
crazy.
ESPN has wardrobe. I've decided they don't. Chris looks a hot mess sometimes. They let Chris Eubanks go on TV looking a hot fucking mess. Brad Gilbert always looks like
He
he
looked
just
like he
rolled
just
out of
came in there
bed.
from Bible
Yeah,
study.
I
I
don't
was like,
think that.
yeah.
I don't think
Mary
that they're.
Jo
I don't think
Fernandez,
they're wardrobing people. I
they
just don't
don't.
think that's
Mary
a
Jo
thing.
Fernandez looks like a fucking Amish runaway.
I
I don't
don't know
know what that
why.
woman was
No,
wearing,
that's the
but it was
shtick. No, that is her shtick. That is her shtick.
bad.
I
You
like
don't
that
let people
stick.
go
I
on
like a color.
TV.
I like a colorful dress. But no, I
Mm-mm.
literally asked you how Nick Curious was, and you guys went on a rant. I
Well,
think it's
because I
Oh, but
didn't hear
no,
him.
I was about to say, I just got back.
no. So
I've
is
had
Nick
to
Curious
experience them.
retired?
It's
No,
horrible.
he's
It's horrible.
injured.
Okay. Oh, so it's
They're
like a
not.
Chris Eubank thing.
No, Chris
Like you're
lost.
like no, but like you're an active player and you still
Correct.
okay.
Yes.
All right.
Look, I mean, look. Does Nick look like he in shape? No, he does not. Does
But I
Nick
mean,
post any
does he ever
videos
look
of
like
working?
he's in
No,
shape?
no.
No.
But I'm just simply saying, Nick is not serious about his tennis. What Nick is like, I've said this
I mean,
about
he
Nick for
seemed very
ages now.
serious. He seemed very knowledgeable about the players. I think people have
Mm.
enjoyed his commentary, they said.
Nick is going to be that dude at the bar and said, like, oh, I
I beat
tussle
him
with
once.
Federer and I got
Well,
that doubles Australian with my best mate.
listen, that's better than most humans.
I was gonna say,
I
there's
guess
most people,
so. I
lots of
guess
people
so.
can
But
say
I
that.
mean,
but
we
I
have
guess
to
so.
have
But
perspective. We have to have perspective. Nick's
we
career
live in
is
we live in a world where Chilish has a major, and I mean, and Dominic Thiem has a major. So, bitch, we're not trying to hear that. We're
Oh,
not trying to hear you talking about
honestly though,
that one time you
listen,
coulda, woulda, shoulda. No,
I
absolutely not.
didn't hear Curios commentating at all, but I always
It
appreciate
was
when
messy, and I
someone.
mean, and
No, hold
and you
on,
can't take.
hold on. I always
Mhm.
appreciate when there is someone who is like how Sloane Stevens did, how Chris Eubanks is doing. I like it when a player that is that close to those on court right now.
can
Like
tell you.
as much as I cannot fucking stand the sound of Caroline Wozniacki's voice, I appreciate what she brings because she can tell you things that John McEnroe can't tell you. I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck that you
But they
played
don't care though. They don't
70,000.
care to tell you.
But they can't. They cannot tell you what it's like to be on court with these players and how they hit the ball and give you an insight that you can't see unless you've been in a match with them. I do appreciate that.
But here's the thing though.
How
This
was
is
he
the thing
messy?
But
You
this
said
is
he
the
was
thing I do
messy.
not like about this because who are you? You're hanging out with your bros. You're hanging out with McEnroe, Patrick, and Chris.
But
What
that's the
productive
but
thing is
that's
gonna
the
come up?
but that's the aesthetic. That's what American TV goes for. Is that aesthetic? That's like newscasting 101 for them. It's like I'm
So
hanging
so
out with people I can have coffee with. I'm hanging out with people I can have a beer with. That's the entire ethos of news in America.
so and it's not my cup of tea.
Okay, that's
So
fair.
I'm not gonna
So what I was
I'm not
exactly.
gonna
So what
I'm
I
not
was
gonna
saying
enjoy
is like,
anything.
how
Did
did
he
Nick?
say messy things?
Yeah, that's what I was
No,
trying to figure
I
out.
don't think so. I mean, like he provided this context that Janina points to. But here's the thing I do that not I dislike about it, but that I find interesting
He just
about it.
doesn't
It's
like
just that
Nick.
it's not about not liking Nick. I just think Nick is overstayed his welcome and it's messy, whatever. That's who he always has been. But
Mhm.
what I don't like is just that the commentary, it doesn't really seed the conversation to these people with real experience here. We're still referring back to the idiots in the box. You know what I mean? That the players who are there doing a job are constantly being treated like guests. Like you might know a little thing, but you're not the dominating opinion here. You understand what I'm saying? They're not being treated as an expert
That's not their
in the
fault.
field. But
I
I'm
mean,
not.
that's just
I no.
that's
I
the
agree with
setup,
that
right? That's the
100%.
setup.
I agree with
but
that.
that's
Chris.
so I
Chris
don't find that
Eubanks.
really interesting for me.
Mm.
Well, but that doesn't mean what they say isn't interesting. As a whole, it might not be interesting. I watched Chris McKendry and Brad Gilbert basically, without saying so, tell Chris Eubanks to shut the fuck up. He didn't know what he was talking about when he
What?
clearly knows exactly. They didn't say it like that, but I swear to God, they disagreed with every fucking thing that he said. But I'm like, how are you telling him that
I
this
mean, Chris
isn't
McHenry,
so?
who won a lot of titles, I heard in her illustrious
But like,
career.
how
Like I
this
said.
man has been on court with these people. He plays them. He knows their game. He's
Mm,
been around for longer than we give him credit for, just because nobody knew who the hell he was, and they're like, no, 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 no. I think it's this. And
interesting.
they but the thing is, and I noted, I don't remember what post match this was, but it was, I I was aggravated by it. And I
Mm,
think that's, I sent to our group, that's when I was like, why is she even here? Like, who is she? Why does
mm.
she get this seat at the table? Um it just seemed very dismissive. And if they did that with each other, I guess it would have been more tolerable, but they don't do that with each other. If it's Chris McKendry, Brad Gilbert, and Mary Joe, they don't dismiss each
I
other
mean, it's
like
a
they were
club.
doing.
It's a club, though.
Right.
It's a club.
So
But
why are
and
you not letting the actual expert be the fucking
But they
expert?
don't. But
and
they
Are
that
don't
you
lead.
and
But
and
they
afraid
that
don't.
is
for
But
my
they've.
somebody
point.
to?
But they've never lead. They've never led from a position of expertise. It's a
Thank
position
you.
of I'm an insider, not an
Yeah,
expert. Like that's really what they've always led with. Like I'm
true.
a buddy. I know the boss. We probably have go to the same church. Probably go to I mean that's what
No,
that
for
is.
sure, for
You know
sure.
what I mean? So expertise is, and the one thing we know because of who's the most popular commentator is that expertise is not the thing that they're paying you for,
Correct.
because they do that with Johnny Mac. Like Johnny
Yeah.
Mac is
Yep.
on the voice on video games. He's the voice on all kinds of stuff. I mean, that's why when people talk about merit, I mean, the merit stops because he had won titles. That's it. It doesn't continue to engage itself over time. It doesn't mean that he needs to know how to say someone's name. Doesn't mean that he needs to keep up with the game. Doesn't mean any of those other things. It's simply a persona, a
Yeah.
personality
All right,
gig,
Zavera.
right? Yeah.
And there is this vibe, to Janina's point, I would add to this that why I don't like it and I find it so messy because there is this constant vibe where you're like, one, it's different between auditioning for the job. First of
Yeah.
all, these motherfuckers are not giving up that job, right? And they're treating you like we're doing you a favor by letting you in this box. So there
Well,
is no
sure.
real, you're not really adding anything just particularly, I would say, insightful or
Or
nuanced to the
compelling.
thing,
Yeah. Yep.
but
Mm-hmm.
compelling, right? That's what I
Hmm.
would compelling to this whole thing. Again, it just gives this vibe like it's just these two geeky old men over the top just talking shit,
Well,
whatever,
and that's
and the
exactly
young
what it
idiot
is.
dude rolling in. It just feels like a locker room where we're trying to be not say some shit on TV which can get
Yeah.
us in trouble, and that I don't find valuable, especially when a lot of interesting matches are going on court. They could give some perspective. Like, is anyone talking about, we get the same thing, like, well, Sinner won the Australian Open, so Sinner is gonna go on a tear. Like, oh my god, like we anointed Sinner is gonna be the, he and Alcaraz talk about, they're gonna be motherfucker. Alcaraz is struggling at the basic tournament. Like, Medvedev is here. Sasha is here. Carlos is not the number 2 player in the world. He's not even number 3.
Actually, remind me. Well, let me play catch up. What's the top rank? What's the top
I
five
mean,
players now? Who are
I'm
the
not, I'm
top
not, I'm
five?
talking about the power rankings. I'm talking about power rankings as they
Well, I
are.
mean, power rankings is still going to be what they're doing. Like they'll still
Yeah.
love him, so he's
But I
always
mean,
going to be
I
the
Carlos
think
one
is
that
it's
out here
comes up.
looking
Novak.
messy.
I think
Carlos
it's
was. Let me tell you
Novak,
something.
then
Carlos won that
Yeah,
Alcaraz.
fourth
the
set.
the live ranking according to this is Novak still power,
Uh-huh.
Carlos power,
Nope.
Daniel Medvedev, Yannick Sinner, and Andrei Rublev, and Alexander Zverev, and Olga Runa, and Herkash, and Taylor Fritz, and Stefanos.
Absolutely not.
But I mean, what are you
Absolutely
talking
not.
about? Absolutely not. This is
That's
a
the
general
ranking. Those are
sense
the
of who
points.
those people will be. You're always going to put a stake in the ground for Carlos. I mean, that's just what it
No, no,
is.
no, no, no.
This
Actually,
might be
no.
the
Hold on. Hold
tournament
on.
he
Hold on.
breaks out in, whatever.
Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Let me defend my name.
Uh
First of
huh.
all, I'm talking about who I would say the solid men on tour from this tournament, and I think going back from last year, it's still Nole. As Messi and Ola says, he could still be dangerous. He's
Yeah, he still
still
got the
back and still
semis.
bite. I mean, Sinner. In fact, I would say Sinner is the number one player, right?
Well, I
Like
mean,
solidly.
but I mean, he won one tournament. Come on now.
No, 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 no. He was playing solid last year.
Same thing with Nole. Didn't Nole win? Who won the final? The men's final.
Of
The men's
what?
That is
ATP.
Nole, but like I said Nole first. But
Yeah,
I would say that I think Sinner definitely showed himself, and
sure.
doing this show he's surpassing. I will put Medvedev, I will put Sasha, and maybe Carlos fifth.
I mean, that's
I'm
fair.
not.
But you're like
I'm not
disagreeing
having
with
no
numbers.
conversation about Runa, Rude, no Fritz,
These
Hurkacz.
are the
I'm not having
motherfucking
a
points,
conversation with them
okay?
dudes
You
because
listen. The
nobody is
wonderful thing
no
about the tour is that these players will flip. Listen, I know it grinds your gears, but Taylor Fritz is the number one American, and
girl. Nobody's
he has been playing solid tennis. Okay,
nobody is stumbling over Fritz for a major.
do you know
You're not
what
going to see
Rafa almost did at Wimbledon. Leave the man alone. Let him have his.
this.
Let him
Rafa,
hold what he
Rafa
has.
is Rafa is not winning Indian Wells like Maria is not winning Indian Wells. Okay, it's just one of those
I
things.
mean,
Like
Oh my God.
see, this is why every now and then we got to tell you to sit in the corner reels because you be like,
I'm just simply saying.
no, I got you. No, but you know what? I mean, basically, quiet as it's kept, and I loathe to admit this. Hurkacz is doing things, I guess.
He's boring to me.
I know,
Until
of
he's
course he
not.
is.
Listen
Of
to me.
course he
Listen to
is.
me.
But this is what I had to say. I had
He
to give him his moment. He's boring as
You
heck,
know,
but he's still
we
around.
don't have to do that here.
listen to me. I am going to say, listen to me. First of all, I would never put any respect on Hurkacz's name
I mean, we
because
never
he's
will.
John Isner. He's just an
No, he's a
updated
little
version
bit
of
better
John
than
Isner.
John is there.
Same
Listen,
coach, same
I
coach.
mean, I
An
know, but
updated version. It's an updated version of John Isner.
he's a better
Oh
mover than
God.
John is there.
Is he
Like I said,
racist
updated
too?
version. He's not as tall.
He-
He's not as tall.
Oh,
But like I
jeez.
said, when the going gets tough, you can be guaranteed you get that boy in a breaker, he gonna stumble over it. It
Can
happens
I
to
tell
all the
you, I'm looking at the live rankings, and guess who's 14, 15, and 16?
Who?
I'm starting with number 14 is
Francis.
Francis, Tommy, and Ben Sheldon. 14, 15, and 16. Look at the
I
Americans got.
wanted Ben to
There's
do
like,
better, but
yeah, well, that's
whatever.
fine. I mean, I don't think poor Nole wouldn't have lived down having a horrible game against
You
Ben.
could listen to me.
God,
You
that
know
would've
what?
been
No,
great.
thank you.
That
Thank you
would've
for
been
saying that. Thank you for saying
amazing.
that. Let me tell you something. Nole acted like the minute Ben Shelton did not come in his draw, did not get on his across from the net, it almost like he got mad at that whole shit. Like that
Well,
tried to throw him off.
that was gonna be a good storyline for him because really, what was the story in Australia but Novak winning 11 billion things?
And
Nobody,
he brought that shit back up again. Like, but nobody was litigating that. Nobody was talking about that shit.
Mm-mm.
But mind you, we haven't mentioned the thing, like we act as if, but so the Nole farm put out, like, oh my god, Nole wasn't playing. Listen to me. And what few people out here
First, you got to
breadsticking
finish your
Nole.
thought. So tell me what Nole fam
But I'm
said.
just simply saying, I think they got really scared. They didn't get scared by the breadstick in the first set, right? I
They
think what
should've.
happened was that he got broken. So trying to stay in the second set. So it was a 6-1, 6-2. So then shit went wild. He never got a break point. They were like, oh no, he had the flu before or some virus before. He got COVID? Is that what we want to say?
No, he didn't have
Did
COVID.
no
You know what? Let's just
how
be
do we know?
gentle with Novak and say age is coming for you.
Are we certain
That-
he didn't have COVID? Did he admit to not having COVID?
I mean, I don't care if
He
he had
said he
COVID
had
or
a
not.
virus. He said he
Mhm.
had a virus and that he hadn't been himself the entire tournament.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
great,
good.
boo.
That's good for you.
You
I
know
mean, look
what?
at that body.
3
That body
years
recovered though.
right.
Mhm.
3 years
And mind you,
ago,
before
that
coming
would've
into
got
this
that.
tournament, he was talking about the wrist, right? Or the elbow or some shit like that. That motherfucker always trying to bitch. It's the award season, but you ain't up for nomination.
Oh
Stop
my
it.
gosh.
We've
All
seen
right,
this play
let us say
before.
good night.
Okay, my gosh, you have no
But wait.
love and
I just have
compassion
a quick question.
for
I just have a
losing
quick
What's your
question.
question?
So, like, I hope that this isn't just a one and done podcast that we're not gonna be so quietly into the night. But so I'm just simply saying, what are we looking forward to? Andre, and I asked the question, what are we looking forward to this year in
Uh-huh.
2024? Any prediction with tennis? It's an Olympics coming up. Washington might be depleted. We're gonna be playing on
Well,
clay.
I say Washington will probably not be depleted because we know none of the Russians and the
Belarusian,
Belarusians are allowed to play the Olympics. So if
and
you want
hopefully
to see
Israeli, but they're not really
Sabalenka
top
up
tennis
close,
players.
yes, exactly. So there will be some military action that will prevent some of these folks from playing in the Olympics. So I actually think
Hmm.
this is your chance to get a chance to see the Australian Open champ Sabalenka. Maybe someone will convince her to come to DC.
Yeah, and be
Um,
like Andy Murray, add a Olympic gold medal to your resume.
exactly. I mean, so I think so of course Solely Tennis is on the move, but I'm doing it just for fun. I'm gonna go to the Olympics. We'll see who shows up there. That is my jam. I'm going to Indian Wells. I'm hoping to see
Ooh.
Maya at Indian Wells. I can't avoid the U.S. Open. Got to see how we do at the U.S. Open, and Labor Cup. I am committed to 4 tournaments this year for fun.
Where is
Where's
Labor
Labor
Cup this
Cup?
year?
Germany,
Deb is
Germany, and
going with you?
no, Deb is
Oh,
bowing out.
I would have gonna
Deb
put my
is
foot down. I was
no,
gonna be like,
Deb
absolutely
is
not. You're not taking my
bowing
auntie out.
out. We're
Nope,
not
nope.
going out of the country, so unfortunately, I will be rallying for that, but I'm looking forward to seeing Carlos. Although now, seeing how Carlos is playing, it looks like Fed needs to get sign up center. Fed signed up Carlos with the quickness and has been using him to
Mm-hmm.
sell those tickets. So now, but I also, I love the idea of it. I think maybe they'll probably try to get Sasha to defend it in Europe or do whatever the heck they're doing. And I mean, who knows? Who knows? Who knows what's going on in the world? I mean, we might
Hmm.
be at war soon.
Oh
So
Lord, have mercy.
That
I
is
mean,
true.
listen, the reality of the
I
world is
know.
that we might be at war. So the Olympics, I actually think the Olympics is kind of like, I think that's a danger zone this year for sure. Sorry, Paris. So, I mean, that's a little nervy for me to think
First
about.
of all, it being in
Mhm.
Paris was a danger zone to begin with. The French could never hold Paris. Just saying.
Well, oh damn, ouch.
Mm.
Um, but they're gonna do different. I think what they're doing is it's like all over France. Different things are happening all over.
Are
So
you
they're gonna
sure?
do. Yeah, they've said some things are like soccer tournaments are happening in
Well,
certain
yeah, I
parts.
think they have that kind
They're
of thing.
doing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you have to like because it's just the region
And
doesn't.
they're trying to clean the Seine River to be in there. Absolutely not.
Listen, that's a win from an environmental perspective. People always try to
Yes.
show up for the Olympics from an environmental perspective. I expect to see a couple of tennis matches as best as I can. I'll work there, but also, should be fun. I'm really sad to be missing DC though. Because I think DC will probably get some really fun people if that tournament director does what he tends to do and tries to get some people up in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that'll be fun.
And sir, you need
Actually,
more
all the
shade
Russians.
and
So you can
cover.
get Rublev, you can get all these folks. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Medvedev. Like none of these people can play the Olympics. In case we've forgotten that, because this is how we deal with
It would not matter
aggressor.
because Cena took out all of the Russians. So just
I know,
saying.
but this is how
Oh
we
my
deal with
God.
aggressor countries. You know how we have a rule for Russia that doesn't apply to anybody else. So I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
and in all fairness, America should be on that list too. But quiet
I
as it's
mean,
kept.
Oh
I
Lord, have
mean, quiet
mercy.
as
Just
it's
Let's.
saying.
kept, quiet as it kept. I just read some things that said anyone who has a moment of conscience is obviously a Russian stoolie. So apparently, this is how we are now thinking about the world. But yes, so I think we will. It'll be interesting too to see these people go to DC, right?
I mean, I really like the sound of that.
Right. Let's think about what the
Yeah, that's
optics of
interesting.
that going to DC as Russians.
Janina,
Let's
anything
do it.
interesting you want to go see?
Um, you know what? I have not seen any live tennis since
Fix it.
DC, since we were all in DC together, I think.
22.
So, yeah, I didn't
I,
go
wa- I,
anywhere
wa- I
last
almost said
year.
last year, but no, that's not last year. That's year
Yeah.
2022.
So I don't know. I have to see
We
y'all
need a
somewhere.
reunion somewhere.
Yeah. And it's not going to
Hmm.
be DC.
Well, actually, Janina, maybe it's your new tournament that is getting a second life, the Cincy tournament,
You know what?
the
I don't
Cincinnati Open.
know if I'm not covering Cincinnati as press, I don't think I will ever be going back there. The prices have jumped so
Oh
much. It is
God.
disgusting. Um,
Welcome to Indian Wells. That's exactly what
yeah,
happened there.
it is unbelievable what a package price costs now. It
Wow.
is insane.
That's sad.
It's insane.
I
They have
think at some
completely
point,
outpriced the average fan by thousands.
Wow.
I would say that at some point, I am hopeful that these people would have to go back on their asses and you know, drop these prices and drop these
I
things
don't know if
because
they
it's
ever
insane.
do. Do they
Yeah,
ever?
but I mean, at some point they're gonna have to. I just say this just to say, just a tiny anecdote, not necessarily true. You know, I got an opera ticket yesterday for $60. I could have touched the conductor here if I stood up. Okay, I was like, and that for $60, 60 real American dollars. Typically, I know the people who sat next to me paid $300-400,
Yeah, that's true.
and
That's a good point.
and that's in the effort in order to sell out thing. I mean, some people they're gonna get some people, but at some point, all those empty seated seats are not gonna look cute on TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's very
Well, and
true.
And and then
in
you're gonna have
20
an issue when since America have a tennis coverage issue, right? It's gonna be Europeans who are watching all of the events. And
No, that's a fair point because it's what's happening with a lot of these prestige institutions.
do you
Who
want
lost
people in the
people,
seats?
opera, ballet, like all of these spaces, like these things are not selling out. So there may be
yeah.
like
Yeah.
a retrenchment of some sorts. Yeah, that makes
Y'all
I
can't
sense.
be
can
out here
only
trying to tell people
imagine.
they have to pay a little a mortgage just to watch one evening of entertainment. And then, people gonna have it's gonna be one of those things you gotta like it or love it. Hate it, right? There's only two ways you can feel about a thing, right? When you go pay for an
Yeah.
entertainment. You can
Yeah.
either like it or hate it. So people can't be shelving all that money for just two feelings. Okay? One or two feelings. Like y'all
It's
gonna have to
insane.
drop them prices.
And I can
You're gonna
only
have to
imagine
drop the prices.
what is Cincinnati going to look like when they go to 2 weeks. It's going to be even more expensive.
I mean, this is
I,
kind of the American model, though, right? This monstrous model, which we
Well,
knew would
it's
come because they
stupid.
kept following. They were going to follow the Indian Wells approach, which
Yeah.
is move you further from the player,
Yeah.
create these like gated experiences, which is what success looks like in some of the way that this works. Success is not
Hmm.
itemize
inclusion.
every experience.
Yeah, like
Itemize every
success is not
experience.
inclusion. Success is actually exclusion, which is how do
Sure.
I make it less viable for you? So that's probably what's gonna happen there. But remember, because I remember Cincy when it was old school, and the charm of Cincy's turning a corner and accidentally running into a player. Remember that
Right.
stuff? I
Yep.
mean, all of that's gone. All of these wonderful experiences that you can have as a fan, which we've been critiquing the evolution of the fan experience at Cincy for a long time, and so here's
Yeah.
where you
It's
are.
poor. It's
Yep.
it's the same as any old other big ticket bullshit
Yeah. Unfortunate.
anymore.
That's
So
a
yeah.
shame. Sorry
Oh,
about that, because I
so
remember that's how you popped your cherry at a tennis tournament.
Right.
mhm.
And
So
it
I
was not
may be
expensive.
going to
Yeah. Where are you going?
DC. I'm not sure, but
Mhm.
nonetheless, I still have to go down to that area, Baltimore at very least. I
Mhm.
had Baltimore crabs.
I'm
Listen
jealous
to me,
still.
people. Hang out with Auntie Deb any and every chance you can get. Telling you tennis fans out here, and of course Janina and Andrine. Janina, you have to make up for lost time because Andrine and I be hogging Deb. But like,
Yes.
I
get in there
know.
when you can. Get in there when you can. I mean, a crab cake. I did not know what a crab cake was until I was
What?
in Baltimore. Thank you, Diane and Deb. But I'm just
Yeah.
gonna throw something out here, and I'm gonna knock on wood because who knows? Because me and vacations have a kind of a love death affair kind of thing. But I may be. I don't know if it might be in the cards, but I might be in Paris for spring. And why don't I check out the shit show tournament that is the French Open, because I definitely don't want to be in Paris for the Olympics. That's gonna be chaotic. So why don't I go? I have an opportunity to go to France at some point. I definitely have the vacation time. So why not go for the French Open?
I don't know
Or
if
you
I
know
would
what?
ever want to do that, but I support you.
I mean, why not? I mean, like, I'm not going there for Rafa. And I mean, hey, So I mean, if this Rafa statue go up this, I'm gonna have to take it down, and I'm not saying that
There's
I
already a
might
Rafa
help.
statue.
There,
There's
it's
already a
already
Rafa.
there.
Yeah, I passed it last
So I'm
time.
just saying, if that go missing, I'm not saying I did it, but I'm not saying that I didn't help somebody do it.
Oh
Listen,
my
you might
God.
go there just because there might be a new champion over there. No ain't
Exactly.
guaranteed these things. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
Right.
That's what I'm
Oh,
looking for.
and let me just
So
say
you
something.
asked for that. What I'm looking for is who's going to run up on this calendar slam and make it real. I'm also looking forward to who's going to have their breakthrough this year. Sinner,
Yeah,
thanks for getting all the boys anxious and excited because you know the boys always follow the
and
leader.
pay their attendance. Get a real coach. Get a
So
real
let's see
coach.
what you're about to do. Let's see who gets hungry enough to make this happen.
Yes. I am excited to see what Cena does, like how he can maintain all of this, because a lot will be demanded of him at this point. That
I'm
you know
gonna
that
say skip it all, Sinner, and just come back in the
yes,
US Open.
yes,
Don't get crazy for yourself. Don't try
exactly.
to chase everything. Just you
You
usually show
can't
up
sell
well at the
sex.
US Open. Oh my god, I can't
You're not
stand
that boy.
it.
You're not that boy. You are
He's
not
selling
that.
nerdy cute.
Thank
Look
you.
at
And Nerdy
he's
Cute
selling
don't be
nerdy
showing
the
up at
cute.
all the parties. They don't be showing the, yes to all of
Well,
the
they
engagements.
should, because those are the
They
most
shouldn't.
fun
And it's
Nerdy.
boys.
just like,
I'm just saying that on my Instagram, somebody put a really nice video of Sinner together, and I shared it on my story, and I love
Okay,
it.
go check that out.
and you know what? And I mean, like, look, I'm just saying, you know what? Cena, you got Berrettini out in the gym doing legs. I mean,
Listen,
like, that
I'm
is a
grateful
plus.
for that. I am
That is a
grateful for
plus.
that because
It
you know
gotta be a
what?
plus somewhere.
Jealousy
But
is a wonderful emotion for some people to experience because it'll make them say,
yeah.
Why
And
you
for
and
the
not
women,
me?"
for the women, I am excited to see. I mean, like, and I have to say remarkable again to Janina. This was I have to say that it's a wonderful development. I mean, if I really didn't want to see, Medvedev lose another ridiculous final, like, like, did not want that for him. I have no problem with Sinner winning, but I'm happy to that. I'm excited to see where Coco goes. I'm excited to see Big Sabs, like really step into her big sapness and being like, bitches, all of you gonna have to bow down, because we haven't had much of that on the WTA for a very long time. A real queen, you know what I mean? Like
Hey,
one of the
I'm ready
girlies who are
for it.
boxing them. I'm ready for that. And I'm ready for the young man, what I mean, like step up this shit, you know what I mean? Because if Cena can do it, I'm just saying. Just saying.
Well, that was a backhanded compliment.
I know,
No,
right?
I'm just simply saying that.
Jesus.
No. Sorry.
Say
No,
it. Why don't
what
you
I'm
with your
no.
whole
Let me
chest?
just say this. There's only one of them left, and he's old too. Okay, you don't have to trip up over a whole bunch of people, and maybe Monfils might find some magic and find
Let's
himself.
not ask for the impossible.
Okay, good night. Goodbye. That's going to be that. This is the
Okay,
last
Oh my
phone.
god, I'm so sorry. We love movies, but come on, let's not ask
Lord.
too much of our.
Oh, he brought back the claps. Until
I
next
brought back the clap. I
time.
forgot I had it. I
Bless
forgot I
us
had it.
all. Okay, listen. One thing that we promised we would try to do is at least do slam, at least do major podcasts. Because guess
So
what? We'll see how we do. The French is coming.
I
French
we'll
is
see
the
ya,
next
Roland
time.
Garros.
We thought of we thought we were gonna do something on the fact that Halep is banned for 4 years, but we didn't.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
And
I'm
I
waiting
did the
to see where that's
readings.
going. I mean, I'm just
I did
waiting
the
to see.
readings.
I mean, those are some of our best episodes when we do
I
the
mean, we
reading.
still can talk about it. She's still not back. It's not totally off the table.
And Kayla ain't
But
saying a word. But
of course not.
we can probably do something from Indian Wells, Miami.
Mhm.
That's always fun. And then be back, just before the French and a little bit for the French. I might be in Paris. So I might be live in living colors. So hey,
All
let's see.
right. We'll see.
Hank, thank you so much, ladies, for being here. Thank you for the fans who were paying attention and with us throughout this journey. We were coming up in 10 years next year. This is our
Wow.
ninth season, I think, if my math is correct.
If we're
15,
alive, we'll do
16,
something
17,
live
18, 19,
somewhere.
20, 21, 22, 23. No, I tell a lie. This is our 10th season, 24.
I mean, I already told
Shiza.
you that, but you weren't listening.
You said that? I never trust your match,
Yes.
Janine. I'm sorry.
She did start it out. But you know what? So Janina, we have to have a reunion at the one place that you'll probably go. Meet us in New York, bitch.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
it.
yes,
10
yes,
years.
yes.
Meet us in New
10
York.
years. All right.
That would
Yeah,
be
I
yeah,
like
fun.
it.
yeah.
And you can also
Hey,
meet us
y'all.
in New
It's
York as well.
Bree. Hey, Bree. Good to see
Bree,
Oh.
you.
she's coming in
Oh,
at the back end.
I know. No, listen. It was good to have a live one again. I know we must make sure that Janina's chase for hockey stardom does not get in the way of us enjoying majors. And so we're gonna be that fan that only shows up at
Daquan Gretzky.
majors.
Okay, she's trying to.
Bree, it's wonderful to see you. We made a little semi-promise that we're gonna try to show up for the majors this year, just like only the worst fans ever, showing up only at the majors. That's what we're gonna try to do.
We'll try. All right.
All right,
Until
y'all.
next time, kids.
Good night, kids. Thank you so
Bye.
much. Good evening. Bye.